give my opinion on what I'm viewing on any mainstream media platform that you could think of, and especially YouTube, because YouTube is tweaking. Nah, she tweaking. So, can I jump in? Can I get a chance to get in here? It's a lot going on. I want to start off with a lot of the stuff that's going on, and then I'm just going to get into the history rant. So let's get into that. We're going to just first touch on some young Pharaoh real quick, which is, seems like he's turning it up a big notch to get the eyes on him, get the attention on him. So I'm just going to briefly go over some of those. I believe is, I don't know how real it is because everything that they do is so scripted. So I just want to go over some things that have been happening with YP real quick with young Pharaoh. Yeah, the whole thing with him being set up probably was accurate because these people are so crab in the barrel that I wouldn't be surprised if that's what was going on with him. As far as his bodyguard being a Freemason, I think he always knew that. He's obviously one, or allegedly, they're all a part of this community. They give you little pieces to show you that they are, as I've always been saying. Also, the last video that I showed you of young Pharaoh with that whole debacle of the girl, whatever they said she did, and he picked her up and flew her away. I already predicted that it was going to be a bunch of police behind that. And I was correct, as usual. I mean, not as usual, but it's like obvious that wasn't just like, oh, this girl was drunk, you know? And I don't think that girl was a real situation. I think they were reacting situations, or she could have been in that situation. I don't know that what goes on in here, you know, if you understand. And plus, in that video that I showed, the bodyguard wasn't around, which was weird. Maybe he was in a home. So yeah, it seemed like he gave up a name, Rick Ross, allegedly. That sounded like giving up names indirectly. They have to do it. They're under heat. So they're giving up names through the apps. They're working through the apps. The white Asians, you know, there's no such thing as white people, and we're going to get to the history. They are discussing through apps as well. They're using them little games, the little minor games and things like that. So YouTube and these black, African, Asiatic, and French, black, whatever you, Spaniard, black also, most I'm just going to usually say immigrant. I have no problem with immigrants. It is a word. It's a word of people that is not migrating. They're immigrating, which is like impossible, like possible, impossible, and it's migrate and immigrate. So they're like immigrating, which is you know, it's just a word. I don't care. I did outside my race. Like, who cares about that? No one cares. I'm not, you know, everyone's mixed up at some point. So we're not discussing racist stuff. We're doing educational things, educational purposes. So that's why I said no more sensitive people, because I've been getting like little things that I feel like people were thinking I'm coming for like the whole race. If I say Nigeria, I'm coming for the whole Nigeria. Like, I mean, if you're a part of it, yes. But if you're not, if you're just a regular person going about their life, I am not talking about you. I don't care what you're doing. I'm talking about specific people that are affecting, it should be affecting everyone that's not involved. So that's where I'm staying focused on. And if I have to say a specific group, I think that's what I should do, because some people want you to stay straight, or they try to say, oh, well, you're a racist just to shut you up. So I don't want to fall for those stigmas. Maybe it could run on a line of offense, but I do want to make sure the points are being made and that we're not just saying anybody and it's not ghosts, you know, because we do know that everyone, every person, every group is playing a part. And it's only a percentage, only some of them. Every single body is not involved, obviously. And we could see who's involved because you see the numbers for their pages. We see the numbers for their the attention that they get. They are getting platforms that regular people would not be able to access. So we already know who those people are easily. And I don't know why you guys want to pretend like that's not what's going on. Yeah, I'm not worried about them. I could care less about what I say because I'm not like, I want to say scared, but people would try to like say, oh well, you shouldn't say that. Who said that? Who said that? Who said to not say something? I thought they said when you see something, you say something. Now they say, oh, but don't say that. Don't worry about those people. You just say what you're saying and be like, well, I said it. So anyway, young Pharaoh, the bodyguard is like walking away, and he's like, I'm he had his mouth like for 2 days. I think his mouth was like that because when you be like, ooh, like I got you. I think he was like investigating because he's surrounded by police. He said the one of the women was DA. He's pulling guns out on them and this and that. This is scripted. He know he's around police. Everyone's a DA but him. Every single body is DEA but or whatever. His Freemason allegedly friend is military. The girl was something. They're all in and out of his home. Where are you even getting these people from? Like, who would really be running to come to Texas to work for you? Like, I mean, I haven't seen a young Pharaoh check get cashed yet. Is he paying cash? A lot of people keep saying Atlantean Nation. Who has gotten a job through young Pharaoh yet? Who has graduated the University of Atlantean? Did you get a degree yet? When do you graduate? What year? When you do graduate, are you going to get a degree? And can you use that degree to get a job? If so, through the Atlantean company, I know he's saying it takes time. But, yeah, I see this little comment. I'm glad some people were here. I saw it was at 0, but thanks for whoever is here. Forgive me the comments. I'm going to try to figure it out. I just literally don't take no time out to figure out how to work I'm going to try to get Streamline and stuff like that, StreamYard. But I just really don't even take, like, if I don't just go ahead and do this, like, because it's like so much going on with trying to keep up with actual life and with all these people doing all this stuff on when you try to relax and watch entertainment. It's just like you're constantly like, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing this. So it's a busy situation where I really don't have much time to figure out the YouTube, how to share and things like that, and watch the comments because it just pops up and it disappears. I didn't catch it, but it does show at the end, and I will look at it. YouTube doesn't even send me comments anymore. They used to send it in my emails because some comments wouldn't make my page, but every comment used to come to my email. Now I go to my page and there's comments there, and I don't get any more emails. I don't know why that has occurred, but they don't send me any more emails to my So if your comment doesn't make YouTube, I don't even see it because it doesn't even come to my emails anymore. And they're playing with, I don't even want to start with electronics. They're playing with my air conditioner. Like, I'm like fighting. I just bought that air conditioner last year, and it's not cheap. It was like close to $200, so it's not like a cheap one. So I don't know why, but yeah, they're still being weird with the devices. Trying to keep me off of here because I've been so busy. It's like I can't even get on here. So it's like they try to keep me off here. And I bring up a lot of topics that I see gets spread around on bigger channels, which sucks because I would like to be a big channel one day. But, I already know that I have to do, things that, like probably like change and do. Like I haven't even looked into like the management when they ask like for you to ask for advice on how to build your, like I haven't even digged into that because nobody wants to change anything up and I don't want to watch what I'm saying. I don't think that they could pay me ever enough to go on some of the topics that they make some of these YouTubers do. Because I believe that, like, I'm going to go on I'm getting on some new YouTubers because I see some YouTubers dipped because they can't stay on here anymore and talk about what's going on. They had to go. And we're going to get into that, and I'm going to, like, give, like, little insights of what character they probably played based on their birthday. And it's just allegedly and what I think. And it might not be nothing. I'm just going to push things out there, and if you have, like, a little bit of what I think, you'll get what I mean by it. But, yeah, so anyway, the young Pharaoh situation with the bodyguard, he definitely probably was plotting on him because it seems like when they have people there, they're more like handlers. So young Pharaoh said that he had to go to Miami, right? Their handlers have to make sure that they get to where they gotta go. So because he didn't go, it seemed like that was the issue. Homeboy was going after that. Like, you're not getting to where I need you to go. And young Pharaoh like, I'm not going because I don't trust y'all. Like, see, like they're trying to get me out there. Everybody's sinking in Miami. You know what I'm saying? So he don't go. And he's staying trapped in his home. Y'all not reading it all out in open. Y'all just watch him say whatever. But do y'all really think what he's saying is accurate? He can't tell you directly what's going on. You saw the girlfriend come over there. As if you ever watched the movie Surrogates, Like I told y'all with these dreadlock infiltrators, and I'm going to get into another YouTube dreadlock infiltrator. It's a female. I can't let it slip past. I try not to bother people, but when you start to do as much as I believe they're going with the agendas, I'm gonna push it out there. He was like, so yeah, he can't tell the real because they all are sworn into secrecy. Even when I try to explain things, like, cause I have been in groups and been in play. When you're trying to get money and you're gonna be in the seedy places, that's where the money at. And then you can't really say but so much because you don't want to get this person in trouble, but you want to say this, but you don't want to do that, and you don't want to involve this one. So we already know what all this is about, and I haven't even gotten into nothing because everything that you try to get into, they try to, if you're not like born into it, they try to make you get under a wing. And the wings they be trying to make me get under, I'll be looking like, oh, your underarm stay. Like I want to do my own thing. And they don't let you do your own thing if you're not connected. It's like they literally research. If you even get close to like them trying to even think about putting you into like a platform to make money, they be researching you and all that, like to your family and what you're involved, like you partisan. So if you're not, then they gotta you gotta go. Who knows what you gotta go through, and on that you gotta be under somebody's wing on top of that, which is not something that anyway. So he can't be direct. But because he's involved in people, then you don't want to. So anyway, he's like saying things because he don't want to go to Miami, but he's saying things like, "Oh, I'm staying here and I'm taping everything in here like the police. I'm keeping all this on record." Like, it's not going to save you if you've been doing all these scams and if you're involved with that trafficking. Because trust and believe, that's where all the money is being made. Period. There's no going around it. Ain't nothing else going on but trading, and it definitely involves people. So yeah, and then it's not like, trust me, like even if it's like, I can't even really explain it, but that's where the money is going to be. And what you think Pharaoh is not doing? What you think polygamy is about? They're not allowing the females to have more than one man. So it's not about the unity of love or something like that. Because it's like, no, sis, like we need a slew of stupid women and they're not stupid women. Most of these women is business deals for them. That's why he's always like, she's asking for money, because they're not and that's scripted too, because he's letting you know, like, this is what it is. This is the life that we live in. Like, it's business deals, and we're all friends, and we're not friends one day, and then when we are friends, and I can't trust them. So anyway, the Surrogate movie, if you watched it, was it that movie or with the wife with a girl? No, Total Recall. I'm sorry. This is an old movie, Total Recall, and I wanted to bring up Total Recall because if you think of the Men from Mars, it's about like the rabbits and the turtles. So the rabbits, I'm not saying everybody with these eyes, I don't care. I'm just saying that the African Asiatic and the turtles, the ones, they have more bulged eyes. Their eyes go bulged. So it's the turtle and the hair race. So, and if you think of Total Recall, when remember when the guy, he went to Mars and he went underground and the guy took out his arm and was like, yeah, get in my cab and I'm one of y'all. It was weird. That movie was weird, but I believe Mars is Area 51, and they're already trying. The planets is on this plane. There's nothing up there. There's nothing up there. They already showed you that black hole in South America. Is that black hole in Antarctica. Is nowhere to go. It's no planets out in that sky. It's a dome. We're in a dome. It's the magnetic fields. The magnetic fields is what's keeping us in. It's no glass window. It's the magnetic fields that keeps. That's when they try. It's like, how could you burst through that? So, without probably blowing up in fire, right? How would you get through the magnetic fields that protect us? So, everything is here and everything is inside of the world. It's a layer of onion, and they do have a water world. They have bubble pockets where they probably had big homes in caves. They dig inside the caves. The caves don't cave in on them, so they can make homes, and they figured out how to dwell inside. So that's where it's a whole living down. It's called the underworld. So it's called spiritual, but they're really having battles in the underground, but they don't let us know nothing about it. It's a government down there, the domes, whatever it's called, you know what this is. But they're not going to ever give you any insight about it. You're not going to know many people that is a part of it. So, just let your imagination go with it and try to figure out what you try to figure out. But anyway, I believe Mars is in somewhere in Area 51. They don't let you know we're near there because, as I told you, we all come from not Antarctica, but the Arctic. And I'm going to show you how we're polar. But I want to get into, wait a second. I want to get into history yet. I want to stay on young Pharaoh. Yeah, so the girlfriend, wait a second, where was that? Yeah, because the baby mother is playing along with it. So she came over there, and when he calls her, she's laughing like, ah, yeah, I know you like it. So it's super scripted. They are all a community. I wouldn't be surprised if the girl doesn't go along with another guy in the community, and they're always like with Portia with her boyfriend and baby. It's like they're in the community. So yeah, they're gonna take pictures. And you're like, oh, you're so mature. They're not mature. They're part of a community. Community. Like, and they're like just they're sex slaves. Like yes, like the girl was saying she's still down with polygamy. So it's not like young Pharaoh's baby mother like, oh, I'll still do polygamy if somebody's mature. So it's not young Pharaoh that she was interested in and saying this is. And then he also said he met her through Suraseti. The mother brought her in and she sat in the bed. Did you not hear that? Oh, y'all just letting it go past? The mother brought her in and she sat in the back. Do y'all not get how this works? I'm going to get into Donda, you know? Yeah, this is business deals. This been going on forever with them in other countries. They give their daughters away for cows or political gain or, access to something or, things like that. So they're bringing their traditions here, which should not be practiced in the Holy Land. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I definitely try to keep it real. And thank you for the support and that you're here. Shout out to you, Hot TV. And whoever has pages, please post them because I literally check out everybody's page. I don't miss nothing. I be watching everybody, and if I ever feel funny about someone, say something. And if everybody feel funny about me, say something. I don't care. Like, I'll address it if needed, but it's nothing really going on with me. But I just got stories, and I told a lot of people no. So you get blackboard. You gotta be like little baby and say yes to everything, and they be like, she's a sucker. We need her ID. You give me your ID. You be like, no. They be wanting to use you up. It's like, and I'm telling them no. Or come here. And one time I got in a situation, I was like, you serious? Like, you be ready to kill people when they try to like play you certain ways, and you look like, wow, you thought I was like that. But anyway, and then they'll play dumb. So leave a lot of people. If you get in a situation where you're like, what's going on? Like, know that they know what they're doing, and they think they pimping or something, like, who knows? And it be females, men. Don't think it's just men. It's females too that think they're your friend, and then you end up in, you listen, I could go on and on. But that's why I'm here, to talk about people. But anyway, young Pharaoh realized, in the movie Total Recall, he went in, his wife of how many years? When he went into like that dream state, but then he realized it wasn't a dream state. It was like reality. He really was like some spy or something with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know if you remember the movie. And then the wife turned out to she was trying to keep him in the house. Like, oh yeah, and playing on nice, just like some people that, I don't know. That's why you don't trust them. She's been introduced. They belong to the community more than they belong to the man that they get handed off to. Sometimes they're there for eyes and, oh, he was doing this and he was the one you laying with. So that's probably what's going on. Who knows? That's why she plays cool with everything, because it's not really an emotion. It's more of a business deal, more than an emotion. But people's emotions have to play a part at times. But it's very easy to suppress them when you're grown up in a different kind of lifestyle where we're looking for a better life. That's what they're looking for. They're all in the search for a good life. I don't know why they are willing to go places that other people won't, but when you are facing, oh, I can get a mansion, or like I've seen in parts of Brother, I don't watch Brother Polite at all. I already knew from day one he ain't nothing to watch. But I've seen clips on other people's channel, which makes me not want to watch. I wish they just fast forward him. We don't need to promote anything that they're doing. And this 14-year-old stuff that they're doing, it really ain't. I don't know if Brother Polite is really like, you got to understand that. It's weird to say, but you got to understand that it may be all scripted. With the 14-year-old, her daughters, these people, only how it's not scripted is that they flipped on him. And it's like the same shit I'm talking about with, it's the same thing I'm talking about with Young Pharaoh. It's a flip. It's a flip because they all family, all affiliated. So it's a flip, like, oh, we're going to throw him under the bus because it's getting hot. Somebody got to get served up like a steak, okay? And a lot of names is being named. Like, he named Rick Ross. Like, you think he said Rick Ross for fun? Okay, so, and wasn't he Officer Ricky? These are all police. Like, they all, have you ever watch that show Graceland? I was so mad when they took that show off. That was my show. I don't even think you could watch the reruns of Graceland. They took it off completely. All of them was D's or undercover cops or whatever, and they was getting down and dirty to get the deals done, and then some of them was like worse than the cartel. They was really selling drugs on the low and taking and doing deals. It was such a good show, just to show you how some of these undercover cops, they on drugs and they rob, and then, let's be honest, none of these people are honest people. They like, where did the police come from? Where did the government come from? This has all been created off of the back of cokeheads. They all do coke. Do they not? They all do coke. They all cokeheads. Like, they've been doing coke all their lives. And they tried to jump it on us when they started coming over here acting wild. They probably swam through the Atlantic Ocean. They probably didn't even have to have boats. They was probably so hopped up. England was flooded with it, and they was orgying all over the place. If you are in New York, go visit the Sex Museum. They give you a little slideshow of like a panoramic movie, a quick over for Europe, and if you see in Spanish, it's like Europa, which is like, it means clothes, right? Ropa in Spanish means clothes. Yes, they are all itchy nosed. Yeah, so this is like, I don't know why they give them the clothes, because that's where you always knew that was going to be the fashion district, because they named them Europe is really Ropa for clothes. So in Spanish, in Latin. So yeah, they was filled out with coke over there. If you go to that show, they give you a rundown of how much they were orgying over there, and why. And now I'm gonna get to Jesus and why he came over there trying to tell them to repent and stop being pagan-like and blah blah. Because Jesus is half them and half this, and I don't know why they was mad at Judas, because Judas was just protecting Judea. I mean, if your name is Judas and you're from Judea, are you really gonna be down with Jesus, or are you gonna be what young Pharaoh was saying was going on with him? A bunch of 12 deceptors that's really you're half us, half this, and you come back and you hear, but we from Judea. Like, now you might sound right. We all wilding over here. We out of control, and we should do this. And Jesus probably came with some info, but you gotta understand, this is still they hood. Like, and Jesus is half here, half. He wasn't even here for 33 years. Like, bro, don't come in here telling us the. So yeah, he thought he was getting somewhere, and then he got done. Then look at the whole crowd watched it. So I mean, think about it. But anyway, we're gonna get to him and who he is and how he fits in it. Yeah. So with young Pharaoh, I made the accusation that yes, people all around you will violate you because they watch you. When you're the top person in that group, you're gonna have a bunch of handlers around, whether you hired them or not. They're gonna watch you, how you making your money, what you doing. Once you make more than like, what is it, 50,000, they on your back. 50,000, they trying to watch you. Like, and it's like every little dollar you make. So if young Pharaoh is successful, yes, he's gonna have people on his back. The person, he knew they were all police. I wouldn't be surprised if he is a part of, they have these like brackets and he's a part of it as well, because he looked very D when he was first coming out and doing them little, he showed you these little things when he, you gotta get used to talking to people and performing in real life so you could do this real life script stuff. When I was going to class, they have things where you talk it's called public speaking and things like that. It seems like of course, when you want to go on to do what he do, you go on more and more training of it. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's part of some bracket and you go to jail. They fake go you to jail. He probably stayed in the that little room. You ever saw a 60-day lockup? Like, stop. They go to jail too. I'm tired of playing with most of these undercover people because you're not getting no platforms without being a part of something. Period. You're definitely a part of it. I don't care what nobody says. Or you're paying for stuff and then they'll demonetize you because you're not on a platform to get paid by YouTube. So YouTube makes the shots. They call the shots. And they know who's got the deals. So you saw how they took the deals away from some people. They took the deals away from Amina. They took the deals away from young Pharaoh. Once Trump didn't need them no more, the platforms got taken away. Allegedly, in my opinion. And if not, when you made your new platforms, why them platforms could not get back to those platforms that they gave y'all? And why did they take them platforms off once they were done with y'all? Yeah, they got them right off of that 50K, 100K platform, and they put them on a platform that they really had, 2K, 3K at that. And I'm not saying that because they could go on up, it varied. But where's the 100, million, nowhere near it. They could find you. People could find you. You're a million, they could find you back. But anyway, that's beside the point. So yes, he was, when he had his mouth like, ooh, he was figuring it out. Like, oh, y'all was trying to take me, nobody near me. And y'all mad how I'm not going. It messed up the plans. It made it bad for the handler. Handler had to go. Like, oh, you hot. So now they sent somebody probably to him like, oh, you supposed to have went there. Now they sending people knocking to the door. And he going there like, somebody, I'm fearing for my life. He was fearing for his life. He in Texas. I told you that's the borderline. Is he on the right line? Where he at in Texas? That's where they was pushing our asses back. Why you there? Why he was in Albany? He has to be in those states. He has to be in Pacific states with Pacific rules and Pacific. That's my opinion. They stay in Miami. They stay in all those Pacific states because those Pacific states got different laws for them. I don't even know if they're legally here, man. Yeah, so he already explained to you that his aunt, why I came for Young Pharaoh from the beginning, or anybody, they speak code. I saw it from the jump. They were speaking code, saying, "Oh, I'm gonna open a children code. I'm gonna code," like everything was saying. "Oh, you niggas, stop letting them call you niggas. Stop letting them African, Asiatic people call you niggas. Now, if you cool with someone, you know they cool, then good to go, fine. But a lot of these ones on the platforms hate us. They hate us. I can't even pretend. Even if they don't, it's not like, oh, we hate y'all, we jealous. It's like, I want to live in them. I wanted to be the person. Like they wanted it so bad. They wanted to be the person in America so bad that they turned they flipped the script on us. Like, you see that Switch channels, like, oh, flip the script. They play with us all day. They flip, they chill, they flip the people, boy and girl, they flip the switch on us. They're telling you every day they flipped everything on us. They flipped everything on us. It was them Asian Chinese. It was. It is. Chinese people are the first Freemasons. Do y'all know that? Are y'all aware of that? You know Chinese is the first Freemasons, right? No one was Freemason before them. They were over here. If you look at Tataria, and if somebody brings up Tataria over here, I'm gonna domesticate. I'm a domesticated cat smack. Do you ever see a domesticated cat smack everybody? I'm gonna give you one of them cat smacks. If you talk about Tataria is over here ever again, it's in China and Russia. If you look at the maps, you can clearly see it's in China and Russia. And they even drew nice little designs for y'all, showing y'all that when they got their little technology, after they popped out on us, we used to all be around each other. We all know each other. It's nothing. These are not new people. This is just people that went in different regions. We all was together in the Arctic. It looked like Antarctica or something obviously flooded and froze over. That's the only place that's frozen over. It used to be obviously some type of livable place at some point, right? It couldn't have been frozen all its life. So at one point when it froze over, it looked like we couldn't go out through the Arctic. Or some people probably did jump ship through the Arctic and went to the Pacifics and the Atlantic that way. But if you look at history, they don't show that we ended up that way. And it's probably because it flooded and it got frozen over there. So they're going to sit there and say everybody died. No, everybody did not die. We went this way and came out through the Atlantic, through the polar Arctic. The Arctic, and it's like a North Pole circle of life there that hits Canada, China, America. It all hits in that circle. I'm going to show y'all all that stuff. And I hope I can share my stuff one day, because even if I could, it's so much stuff that I can't even really keep up. But anyway, yeah, so Young Pharaoh wasn't bugging. His intuition was absolutely right. Because it showed after when he went, ooh, I can't believe this just ripped on me. It showed after he went, oh God, that's not cool. I don't know how it happened. Yeah, it just ripped on me out of nowhere. So he had an intuition. He knew that once all that left, then look at all the chaos that happened after they left. So he know that what he did, he pulled the wrong move by not going. And then he's like, oh, let me just, like, whatever he's doing, I don't know. I can't really be specific because, like, you can see what's going on there. They're all a part of some weird thing, and they're all trying to find out who's going to get served up like a steak, okay? Somebody got to go down. And it doesn't mean all of them go down. They're still, the business is still going to run. The polite in them is nobodies. You know what I'm saying? They're just going to be people that goes down and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, just, you know, that's what they do for you. It's the bad cop and the good cop. They act like they're getting rid of people, but they all bad people. So, yeah, so I'm going to leave Young Pharaoh alone, and let's get to Brother Polite. Like I said, with the 14-year-old situation with all of them, I believe that it's more bigger than Polite. I think that they're putting a highlight. It's like, it's not really about the 14-year-old girl. It's about the promotion. It's about the promotion. Y'all don't get that they all about the psyche. That's all they care about. Get you talking about a 14-year-old getting bothered, right? In your head, you're up all weekend talking about a 14-year-old getting bothered. In your head, talking about it, discussing it with your family, with your friends. A 14-year-old getting bothered. This is the topic. This is the topics. Children. They are programming us to have a conversation about it. You know, like, to be like, well, she was probably hot. Or this is conversations being had. They're normalizing it without y'all knowing. It's just like, y'all don't see it. Y'all don't see it because they're moving so slow, like a snake. They're moving so slow, like a predator. Y'all don't even see it. Don't entertain it. Don't entertain it. Let him just go to jail quietly. Don't talk about it forever. It's a promotion. They're gonna continue. It's already starting. It's already starting. I was going somewhere the other day in the train station. I'm telling you, it was me. It was somebody else. It was my boyfriend next to me, and it was somebody else. It was like a bunch of people in the train station. It was a guy sitting there, and that guy that was sitting there was with me. He was there with me, and it was another. And the guy that was sitting there that was there with me, that I don't know him, but when what happened walked past, we both was on the same. And everybody else was just out of it. And he was with a woman, and he told her, like, look, so I knew he was on point. Some white, no such thing as a white person, Asian, they're from a different country, but I don't care, they all Asian. And they mix with some black, I don't care what kind of speck or black or what kind of, you know how they mix in it, but there ain't nothing else to mix in here. So anyway, I'm gonna keep fidgeting with this because it really busted all the way open. I can't believe it. So yeah, this guy, he's walking with, the boy was like 10 or 11. He had some tight britches on, the white guy booty was fat too, with some tight britches on. And he had like shoe boots on, like an Australian type. You know, like, I'm not saying he was Australian, but he had like an Australian shoe boot on where it was clicking like heels. And he had the little boy hand. They were holding hands like this. Right? Trust me, y'all, not appropriate holding hands. Tight. When I say I was livid, seeing he was walking through the train station with that little boy so fast, he was dragging him, and the little boy was like I'm telling you, and they looked like they were not from this country. So the thing didn't look right. It didn't look like he was with no family member, no uncle, no nothing. And the guy, he was holding his hand like, and it was walking, switching with the little boy. The boy was like 11 or 10. Right? So I was gonna say something, but he was shuffling through the train station so fast, and then he wanted to look at to see what stop. He didn't even stop. He was and then got out. I could, even if I wanted to, I couldn't because he was so fast. He knew what was going on. He knew that if he tried to hesitate in this train station or something like that, but he was bold. I'm telling you, I know I'm not tripping, and I don't care. Like, he was bold, and he was flying with the boy. It seemed like he was trying to hurry up and get him, so he had a big backpack on. And the little boy he didn't say that, they didn't have no conversations, and got flying with him. And I'm telling you, the guy saw it too, and he was like, yo, like, I'm telling you, if he would have stopped, I would have said something, and he would have said something. I'm like, you know this guy? Like, that's your father? Is that your uncle? I would have had to say something. Because the way he was holding his hand. And that's a man and a boy anyway. Why are you holding his hand like that? Yo, it was like lovers, and he was like, let's go flying with him. So it's starting. They are trying to normalize it. They are trying to get that P added onto that LLBG. That's it. They are trying to get that P. They want to be comfortable. They want to live their lives comfortable because they have money. Those people, they have a lot of money. Those people that's getting all that forbidden fruit shit has a lot of money to pay for it. That's why they got made up money in statures, because they want the shit they can't have. They want it. They want it so bad that they made up money, they made up statues, they made up statuses, so they can go on and do that weird, wicked shit. And I'm telling you, only why they are in control because they are able to do that weird, wicked shit. We are not able to be as savage as them. By Holy Land people, we are only able to get as wild as we need to get on a defense. We would never come savaging through nobody's stuff and doing like it is a natural nature by law of land. We physically will not do it. But when in the defense, they would not survive. That's why they needed the weapons. We would tear you up. Well, the people from the native land would tear you up. And you know it. And I could show you plenty of times where they was creeping through the Seminoles and all of them. They was intermixing with some people, and then some of them that was intermixing, they kind of wanted to move up with us. From the Florida and from the deep south, whatever. And you could see we kicked them right out of there. Like, you're not coming here. They went through the north, and then we shoved them all the way to Mexico. And I could show you in the history. They show you in the history. They say they tried to migrate up, and we shoved them all. You could tell that as soon as they got out that line of we got them right. As soon as Mexico came, they stopped and they migrated there. We wouldn't let them in. They couldn't get in here for nothing, and they plotted all. Think about it. It's that's why they probably call it the eye. That whole white stuff is dumb. They the nucleus. They go around the whole Asia and they lap us around. It's a whole circle. It goes 360 all day around here. If you go through Asia, you're gonna come back to this way. It's no I got stuck and I can't. Now we're at an end. You go it's a forever circle here. You go. You girls, y'all want to go to China without paying, y'all don't have it like that. You get you some Chinese, get your Chinese flip-flops, and you go walking towards Alaska, and you walk on, and you want to be in China, and you get your hair direct, you get everything direct, drive, whatever. Get there, girl. Then you don't got to take the train if you don't want, you can walk. So that's what I'm trying to say. We all connected and you go through that back way as well. So when they was all creeping up on us we're like, they're the nucleus. They're creeping up through us through a whole thing, and they're swooping in on us like this. So, they're coming through Canada. They're coming through the deep south. They're coming through every water port they could come through. That's why a lot of these water ports were closed, because they're like, okay, it's enough now. Like, no, it ain't enough now. Let everybody in. Don't just let some of y'all in. And then they close the border down like how they did with COVID-19. You see how, especially with COVID-19, now my boyfriend is a witness. I went and got my I should go and get my ID, my state ID. I got it it was like 8 years, whatever date that says it was issued. They told me that day, because I gotta get my stuff renewed this year. It's 8 years. It's been 8 years already. This year, every year on my birthday, I have to get it renewed. So January, I have to get another one. It's been 8 years. When I went to get that one, they told me that in the year 2022, I would not be able to use this ID to get on a airline. And I was like, oh, well, I got to pass, because she was like, oh, you don't have all the points for the 2022 ID, because your ID is going to show that you have, they never told me it was like a vaccine or something. They just said that I just don't got the 20, it was already in play 8 years ago. So I was like, oh, I'm not thinking about nothing. I'm like, oh, that don't matter. I got my passport. I could get on the plane without all that, because she said I missed the point. I can only get the regular, but in 2022, I'm going to have to change it over to the new one that's going to allow me to get on the plane. I was like, no, I got a passport. I can get on the plane with that. If anything, I can show both. And she's like, oh, no, it's not. The passport not even going to work. She like, you're going to have to change over in 2022 for the new one, which I'm assuming now will be the vaccine card that you got to show to now travel. This is going to be 2022. I don't know. Now, if it happens, then you know that it happened 8 years ago, because she told me this 8 years ago. I'm looking at it now like, wait a second. Was that what the fuck she was talking about in 2022 that we were? It has to be. So we'll see in 2022 if you can't get on that airplane without that vaccine ID. Then you're going to have to bring the points and get that ID, or you're not going to be able to travel out the country. I don't know if you want to be able to travel in the country. You're going to have to be doing the driving. Probably go back to horsepower, get back on the horses. Yeah, that's weird, right? And so I was just thinking about that. I was like, that snapped to me the other day when I was like, yo, remember when that lady told us? And I was like, what point is she talking about? So anyway, this is it's not a pandemic. Don't put the L in it. It's a pandemic. It's not a pandemic. It is definitely a P-A-N. Leave the word alone. It's perfect the way it is. I already told y'all what it is. Now everybody talking about this Kane world. I told y'all, everything I say, they regurgitate. Told y'all it was Kane world. I can get into how it's Kane world. I'm going to get into Adam and Eve also. That Adam's apple. And how Eve bit that apple. That Adam's apple. And they got kicked out. You know that the Bible is following exile people? Yeah, it's weird stuff going on, and it's about the it's about the I don't know, like it's like it seems like they're trying to cut ties with certain groups. Like they all got together about 2-3. It was like 400. Like the Asians came first, and then they started making, that Lee guy. They came first. I'm not saying they came first. I told y'all we always up by the Arctic. They just went one way and we went another way. So they always knew who we were. They always was like right next to us. China is right next door to us. It was, we could probably have saw them about them, in Canada. We probably could see them, whatever. So it's not like no one knew, never knew of us. And then like I told you, in 444, now that I think about it, the number 4 means death in Asian, Chinese, it means death. So the number 444, just like Jay-Z album 444, it means death comes in 3s. So you see how that works. So when they came over here, you already see what kind of mentality they was on. When they came, well, I don't know if they came in 444, but this is what they label history in. Like something happened in 444 with it, and then here goes Jay-Z with their 444 album. And then if you think about it, 444, 3 times, that's death, 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 death in 3s. So you see what kind of mentality it was on when they started this reign in 444. Was it really in the year 444? Probably not. It's just symbolic of we came over here to bring the pain. You see what I'm saying? Bring the death or whatever. Just like with the Holocaust, I think the Holocaust happened in America. I don't think it really happened in I think it happened also in Germany as well, but it was definitely in America as well. A lot of people don't understand that. There was a lot of concentration camps in America when we was going through the war with, what was it? The Vietnam War. And didn't they rally up all the Asians? Didn't they rally all of them up in America and put them in jail? That's why they had to get that money back. They got a lawsuit out of it, and I'm telling y'all, I think these lawsuits when they say, they rallied up and they knew that they could sue. This is scams. It seems like they just be doing this just to get money in this country. Like, look what you did to me in this country. Now I'm suing you. But if they really did get rallied up and, shipped back to their country and murdered, then yes, they should be compensated. But it wasn't even us that did it. It was other immigrants in here that did it to other immigrants. But the people have to pay all the time. So that's why I think it's a scam. But yeah, at one point in Vietnam, they did, if you were against colonialism, or I think it was like when they was switching over to like, those words, it's 2 C's, it's like colonialism and communism. If somebody knows the words, help me out. It's not much, but if you do remember. But yeah, if you was against it, which is what they're kind of probably going to do now going forward, because history repeats itself. When the policy changes and the government changes, they want the people here to go with it. And if you're not going to go with it, you will be in those concentration camps getting punished, murdered, killed. And this is what they did to the people in the Holocaust. It was just people that wasn't following the change of their government. You would say, because they all were Asians and Jews or whatever. So it's just like, what would be the problem? But it was politics. What was the issue? And they started, all the people that they started to gather up in concentration camps, the answer was, you're not following politics, we're going to put you in here. And then they started to label them by color. Like if you could see this, let me see if I could lower this, and if you could kind of see it. They labeled them by color. The red, they put the color on them. Whoever was in that concentration camp that had red, they was in there for politician reasons. Then they dressed people in there for green. It was for being a professional criminal. So that's what they got locked up for. That's what they was in a concentration camp for. Then the people that they put in blue, they were immigrants. Then they took the Jehovah's Witness as well. They put them in purple. So I found that interesting that the Jehovah's Witness was in purple, right? Because I've been trying to look into the Jehovah's Witness and see what that was really about. It seems like it's really close to something in America, but I just can't put my hand on it. But I'm going to do more research into the Jehovah's. They do knock on your door like they out their mind every Saturday. And they are pretty decent people, but just never give them a chance. And they always try to invite you back to that church. That's what they come knock on your door for you to come. And if you answer, they'll keep coming and trying to get you in there. But anyway, so they dressed the people in pink with homosexuals. So pink was always associated with homosexuality. So just know when these men wear pink, they know exactly what it stands for. These people, that's why I don't like these celebrities. These people are so sick that they get paid, and the person will say, put on this pink shirt. You know we all gay. Put on this pink shirt and make men wear it. So now these celebrities like, oh, I could do that. This is their mentality. I took the millions, and I could do that. Now I'm putting on all pink. Yeah, I'm swag. They know, and it stands for homosexuality. Period. Since the beginning of time. Okay, and the people that wore black was asocial. I don't know what asocial means, but it sounds like amen, amen, a this. The A people, which is I think the Muslims, if you ask me, they're the ones that put A on everything. Just like I put hot sauce on everything, they put A on everything. And then the brown people were the gypsies, so they put the gypsies in brown. So they was just locking everybody up, and they were saying people was professional, cause like, oh, you a thief, and then murdering and starving them out. Some of them they just let to starve, and some of them like, it was just weird concepts. So they like, this is how you handling people. This is how the government started to begin. They called it the Holocaust, and wasn't really in Germany. No, they learned that stuff from in America, because people was already snatching people up when governments and everything was changing from earlier. It's always been law and all these facilities here in America. They've been here forever. And then they everything that we had done in America, they replicated. We helped replicated it. And then at some point, I don't know what happened with the replications, but you could tell that a lot of work that was being had in the other countries stopped at some point, and they left it undeveloped. And we just it looked like everybody just dropped their fucking tools and just left. It was like, we're not helping y'all no more, develop nothing over here no more. And then but it don't seem like that. It seemed like other immigrants was like, look, come over here. Like Switzerland is hooked up. Certain places is hooked up, but other places look like they was trying to give. Everybody looked like they had their little deals, because every country, if you look at it, only thing they got is a market. They got at the time they had a market road. It was like a long market road, where the train just went through the marketplace and it hit the main building, where I guess they probably did the paperwork at. And out of the country had that. So you could tell, that's the only thing we gave y'all. We just wanted to do a quick trade with them, and we gave them a nice little railroad line. They don't got none else. Every time you see something in 1919, them videos, they just show you a nice long railroad line. They call it a day in other countries. In America, we was built out to the T. They done ripped down so many trains and things that we had in infrastructures just to make the narrative make sense. Because if you would have saw everything that was here that they knocked down, you would have been like, why do we care about the other countries? You shouldn't. Not saying care about them, but I mean like as far as the story they had given. I would never say, oh, this and that about another country, but the fact that they stole our glory is like, come on, give it back, because it's common sense, it's not y'all. To this day, y'all don't got y'all stuff developed. And I mean, how long does it take? You saw all that, you got the pyramids. How long does it take to develop your country? Hook it up. Y'all should have, them deserts should be full of greenery right now. It's not that hard to figure out how to vegetate and regurgitate your dry land. It's probably because they want it like that. Anyway, yeah, it's if you look at those places, they're nowhere near developed like us, and so it's not even an option. The Olympics, everything they stole, and we were always competitive people, so they stole everything from us, and that's just that. Everything is for ours. There's no going around it. We got plenty of footage. There's plenty of documentaries out there that they just can't help but to tell you all the truth. And they can't even explain how they came up with saying that everybody's from Africa is the stupidest story ever. I have information here that says the first person was mahogany. It was a mahogany brown person. They were called polar people. Then it transitioned into, and then they was coming down, and they ended up in California. Then they went down to Mexico. Then y'all started going too far, Star. And that's all y'all need to know. Y'all started going too far. Y'all didn't come from South America, because it was frozen and it flooded over there. At some point, Honduras, that little line that goes to Central America, it was flooded at one point where y'all couldn't even cross it at some point, and that's probably why they thought y'all were all dead over there. Because when the water lines finally came down and y'all were able to cross that bridge again and get back into Central Mexico and up into actual Mexico, because at some point it was flooded and they couldn't go across, which means that everybody that lived in Honduras and all that line there had to either evacuate or died, because it was not livable land. It ended up flooded for years before the water ended up receding back, which I believe is all controlled, if you ask me. So that's easy for them to, and I think that they give up the concept that y'all all got flooded because they don't want to give South America their their right to the whole Asia. Like that's them. That's all them. That South American people fill that whole area out. That's where they come from. That's where the Armenians, the Africans, that's where the Asians, they all come from. And I could, like, if you look at Chile, if you go to Peru, if you go to Brazil, where the Portuguese at, like these people are all, look how big Brazil is. Look at all those Portuguese people there, like that are African somewhat, but of course they're mixed as of, right? They all mixed. They got hit with that electric avenue. They got hit with that blue electric. It's super blue electric out there. It's super blue. It's Blue Lagoon out there, and they went that way and they done drank that water. And I don't know if they turned into X-Men and stuff like that. I have no idea how they, how they figure out how things fly. And I think that they were the first people to come out with the flying saucers and things like that. They started off, and that's why people think that it's aliens. There's no such thing as aliens, y'all. Aliens is people that was alienated. That's what aliens are. They were alienated people. They kicked Adam and Eve out a long time ago. They said, bye. So you think nobody else was in the garden eating because Adam and Eve left? No. The Garden of Eden and all that was America. They kicked Adam and Eve out and put them right into the beginning of Mexico. And that's when Canaan on them started to roam, and then he made his own world down in South America. And that's why we're in Cain's world, because South America is a very powerful area. That's where the rubber people are from. And that's why T.I. and them, and that's how I was like, oh, T.I.'s from South America, because, that song where he's like, rubber band me and wild as a Taliban, 9 in my right, 4, 5 in my other hand. That's him basically saying, like, I'm from South America, like, rubber band me. And I thought he was talking about keeping his money, but he probably talking about the rubber people, because he's wild as the Taliban. Rubber band men, wild as the Taliban. They Armenian, Chile, I don't know what the else, come on, have a brain. It's all the same stuff. When The Godfather, remember that movie, when he got in trouble, where they sent him back? They didn't send him back to Italy and nothing like that. Then they sent him back to, I think they sent him back to Chile or Argentina or something. That's in South America. They sent him back to America. Like, they from America. Everybody's from America. It's just what part of America are you from? And why did you go all the way out into the wastelands? Because the mountains ain't got nothing out there. You could find little spots. And then the thing where they really messed up at is when they went into England and they went into London, and there wasn't no food and no way to really have a good well upbringing in your resources. Nothing grows there. Everything is wickered and withered away. So when and that's when they created the ghouls. Weren't they called the ghouls before it was called Europe? And they started to get ghouled out over there. And then, yes, they start to drink cooch or whatever, gooch or all this rotten. Yes, they started to get drunk in the forest and, start to act like a wild man. Wow, in the wilderness. And start to cause a lot of pandemonium. So whatever. The people from England is the Chinese people. These Chinese people came from, and I don't know. Everything is so much. It's hard to like keep it in order. That Adam is the Philippines is claiming Adam. They claiming him. They saying that's them. Adam. Adam. The people from the Philippines is where them African Asiatic people are originally from. If you look at Japan, when you get in a boat, this is how people don't understand why certain people are certain places, because you would think, oh, well, you live right there. But if you get in a boat trying to be explorative, your boat the current is going to take you it's going to hopscotch you. So Japan actually hopscotches to California. So that's where you get in these Nagas and the Corinthians and them, and they're mixing with us, the red browns, and they're mixing with, whatever, because they become the tokens. I gotta show you the list of how it works. It's a process. It was a process. We all come from the Arctic. It was polar, mahogany, red, brown people. Then we turned. They tell you right in here. They tell you all the colors we turned. It's sad. And this is how they infiltrate us, right? They'll get the Kamalas. Look at her parents. Look at her parents. So when they, just like with Nipsey and them, when they get the Nipsey and when they get, look at her parents. Her parents made a Kamala. And if you look at the other kids, they look like the parents, like immigrants. But for some reason because you know why? Kamala, her father, his father is a Native American man that was in the politics that sold all and he sold us out like a dog. Okay? So she's got the ancestors coming out in her. And they jumped on it. They jumped on it. Look at the ancestors coming out of her. Take her to America. Give us our peace. Because we got bloodline in here. You know? That's how it works. He done went on and married an Indian woman. He done, the father must have married a Jamaican woman or something, and he done went on to marry an Indian woman, and now they're like mixed all the way out in India. But Kamala comes out with the ancestors of his father looking more black, like more not black, but Native in America. So they look at her brothers and sisters. So they like ching ching, we out of India. Come on, Kamala. Just like with Nipsey, we out of Eritrea. And I'm telling you, Nipsey is he's Ethiopian if you ask me, but they say he's from Eritrea, which doesn't matter. It's like 2 miles up. I was always correct about him, and I believe that he's a descendant of. He's not. If he's dead, I don't know what he died for, because they all a part of it. Him and his father and all of them, and his mother. Ooh, I was trying to show y'all about Nipsey's grandmother. I couldn't find that shit for nothing. They took it off the internet. You saw how Nipsey's grandmother, she won out the whole Price is Right. Price is Right. Do anybody? I don't know if it. Yes, Selassie. Yeah, you already know. Bingo. Who is that? Lotto Chip. Bingo. He's related to Selassie. That is his direct descendant. Are you shitting me? I was like, yo, if this ain't Nipsey Pops right here, he looks just like Nipsey Pops. And y'all gotta understand that it could be Nipsey Pops. This is all just your grandfather, great-great-grandfather ago. This is why they're changing the order, because those people are dying now. So now they gotta do the new cycle of the forefathers passing down to 3 generations, and then it ends because they die off. And the only person that's really left from what happened in the 1900s is their grandkids. Their grandkids is about to die now. And now they trying to do their legacies of the 3 generations of wealth. Of, the grandmother's a culprit too, bro. She won the whole Price is Right at one point. I was like, hey, ain't that Nipsey grandmother? Nipsey, yeah. And I was trying to find a clip to show y'all how she won the whole, she came down like, come down, she won, and she was like, and she did like some thing, and then she kept losing, and they was like, we're gonna give you one more try, Granny, and then she did the one more try, won everything, and she like, and then she came back, and they did the spin the wheel, and then she tied with somebody, and then they let her go again, and she won, and they was like, and then they was mad hype at the end of the show, they was like, oh, the grandmother won the whole show. Granny takes it all. They made it such a big production about I was like, and then it's Nipsey's grandmother, y'all. Why would Nipsey's grandmother need to win the whole Price is Right show? Don't they got money? They always had a business. They always was like having like food business, stuff like that. They were always entrepreneurs, because of course that's what they come over here to this country to do. They don't come to be workers. They come to do their entrepreneur. And it's all a part of their companies of, this is how they make their living in their other, so they come over here and do the same thing. They're all entrepreneurs over there. They do table work. Just like from the beginning of time, it was called when the Corinthians, the Egyptians, and the Asians all collabed, they made Mexico. They made Mesoamerica. And Meso in Mesa in Latin means table. So it's like the trade table in Mexico. So that's what that's about. And to this day, they do the trade tables. You go to the train station, they got their business on the table. They selling whatever. They selling little mango. They selling whatever. They selling Indians. They got their fruit stands. They are still doing meso table work to this day. We are the only ones working for corporate companies. They playing us. But anyway, I'll let y'all figure that out one day. I never wanted to be a worker, and I always do side stuff. I never, one thing about me, I wish I could show y'all all my tattoos. Like, I've had tattoos since I was young. I got a whole dragon on my bottom, and it goes all the way up here. You could probably see the ending of it, like it goes all the way from here, and it's a fire-breathing dragon. because I'm like the girl with the dragon tattoo on her ass. And you know, but at the end of the day, it's not. I did that before that movie came out. I got this tattoo before that because you know I've always studied all religions, and I tend to like. I used to like Buddhism. I really never liked the African paganism, but they all the same. You know, they all in one, right? It's all about enlightenment, and once you get an educational mind, sometimes you try to get a little out of control with people and be like, oh, like you try to play God, or you try to play people like, oh, you too stupid, or this and that. So they have a way about them. So I did always like their thing because I like to be educational, but I don't like their personality about it because I am still from America, from body. You know, my sign, my January Capricorn sign might be more related to their religion and what they do, but my body and soul is from America, 100% South, you know, Southern girl. And understand we are the real wealthy people. Southerners are the real wealthy people. We all know, oh, Southern money is the wealthiest people in the world. So who's the Southerners? Did you know it was do y'all know it's a Southern Ocean? Do you know all of us is from the oceans? We all got our own ocean. They just left us out. You know it's a Southern Ocean, right? It's 5 oceans, but they only show you really 4. Just like they only show you 4 fathers. But it's 5. And it's a 5 father. It's the real father. They don't want to tell you. They don't understand that Luke, he is your father. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear that, you know, that he's your father. Not that black one, the mahogany, red tree man. That man is your father. I don't care who y'all are. There's no other person here. He done turned into everybody. And I'll show you how. They got documentaries on it. They tell you exactly how. I can't find it, and that's why I keep getting. Once I see other stuff, I'll be like, ooh. Yes, and the Nipsey father, I'm gonna show you Halasi Sadar because you was absolutely right. That was you were on point. When I saw him, I said, damn, if he don't look like Nipsey father in them. And I'm gonna show you, all these people look like each other. If you put everybody together, you want to start to see that these people start to look like the people that the country they from. You see how Nipsey the only one that came out like a Kamala. So they milked Nipsey. They was like, go Nipsey, get him. And Nipsey did his job. That's why he was sent off like Kobe. Does it make any sense that Nipsey would be sent off like Kobe? I don't even care about no celebrities, but I was a Kobe Bryant fan at some point when I was in the 292. Well, I'm talking about my junior high. When I was in junior high, I had a jean sport. The only thing I had was Kobe number 8 on there. So Kobe, and I don't care about I hate it, but Kobe was so cool to everybody that I even knew about him. Like, oh, Kobe and Jordan, you know, that's all I knew. And other little people, but you know, they was the most important people. And Kobe was more important than Jordan to me because Jordan was a little bit older. So Nipsey gets sent off like Kobe. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I know if I was Kobe, I'll be spitting on everybody like, how dare you give me the same send off like him? Do you know who I am? Kobe, how my ass tastes? Like, do you know me? I got Shaq mad at me. I'm important. Like, if I was Kobe, I'd be up there in my arrogance. When you think Nipsey didn't even go platinum before he died. So you giving a send off like that to somebody that didn't go platinum or anything? Only thing he did was get killed, murdered, allegedly in his hood, in front of his chicken spot store, or whatever, or in front of his clothing store, by another hood nigga. What's the big production about? That's every day. That's every day. A hood dude got hit by a hood dude, and he gets that big giant production, like Kobe. I doubt it. We already know that it wasn't a real scenario for nobody, for none of them. They just wanted y'all to come to the Staples Center and enjoy it. You know, it wasn't a real situation. So anyway, because I just don't see why would Nipsey have the same send off as Kobe. It just wouldn't make any sense to me because Kobe has put in so much work. Fake work, real work. These celebrities still gotta work out and look like the part, right? He can't just sit around and eat donuts. So he still put in work to fit that, you know, that superstar role. And you send him off with Nipsey the same way. It just don't make any sense at all to me. So we already know that all these people are being sent out here to do jobs, make you feel like, oh, I put all my money in this, put all my money in that, and if so, they still want to try to kill us. They just bother us about any stupid thing. They just harasses us. Don't put your money in none of that Bitcoin stuff. Like, I'm telling you, like, that's what he was really promoting, right? Like, I don't know, like, just trying to help the people scam, and like, that's just a scammer site. You know, like, if y'all enjoy that stuff, go ahead. I don't know. I don't know why I can't find that picture of the Halasi dude. I know I took a picture of him with the father so y'all can see they look like literally twins. I don't know, I got so much stuff in here, it's not even funny. Like, I'm gonna have to just erase everything because it's just too crowded. Okay. Yeah, so I really don't know what point I was trying to make here, but with as far as with Kanye West's mother, we see clear as day. He's definitely trying to be very. Oh, here goes Halasi. Now, I mean, come on. We clearly see this is Nipsey's father right here, right, or grandfather. It's clear as day. It's clear as day. Look at Halasi doll. Look at him. That's Nipsey Files. I want to do it side by side because I'm telling you, there's no mistaking it. There's no mistaking it. For sure, they're related. All from the same country. They're all Ethiopian. Look at Nipsey family. Look at Nipsey family at the funeral. Ethiopians. And I don't care that they're Ethiopian. I'm just saying they made it seem like Nipsey was black, but I think he's 100% Ethiopian, and somehow the ancestors come out of their children because they are from America. You know, they don't get it. We not gonna ever do that. We never gonna have an Ethiopian or and I'm not saying me, but you know, native people. We're never gonna have an Ethiopian or an Asian or this and that. But here go an Asian, they could have and be like, oh, what is that? Like, yeah, that's us. Me and Nia. That one drop real serious. Get you a Nipsey. And they go on to be stars. They get their peak. They feel like, oh, he's a descendant of. But while we are actually it and we get nothing. And we get forgotten and we get sent to the ground. So that's weird. That's so weird. Y'all so weird. That's why I'm bothering y'all. Because y'all so weird. Just say what it is. Don't ever say we're African again. Those African people are no such thing. They just native people that went down past the equator and got burnt. I mean, I ain't gonna say that no more. You saw Seti? Ooh, I got a video of him, Sumar Seti. He was pissed when I said that, right? He done went and he started breaking down the words like I broke down the words, like, if you don't look and see, they say right here, da da da, right? Then he go on to try to read a passage, right? Ooh, I caught him. He done tried to read a passage. And he said, oh, he didn't know that. Did he not pre-read it? Because when he read the Asiatic part, he was pissed. He was like, oh, they threw a curveball here. No, they didn't throw no curveball. Read it. Everything that they showing y'all is accurate. Jesus looked like that. Jesus looks Spanish. His name is Jesus. His name is Jesus. His name ain't Jesus. Who told you his name was Jesus? His name is Jesus. A lot of people got that name. They know it. They know his name is Jesus. And guess what Jesus is backwards? Wait. Say Jesus backwards. Does it say Sus and Yah? Sus and Yah makes Jesus. Sus Yah. Jesus, Sus Yah. And I find it funny because Jesus, when they say Jesus, hey, when you look at hey, Hay, like, and you know, and I'm saying it like that because they spell it J-E, but they pronouncing it like hey. Hay is like blonde. You never, like, they be like, oh, your hair is as blonde as hay. Or something like that, like in a barn. Which is where he was born in, right? Who has the blonde hair like hay? Didn't I show you how they look like in South America? With the blonde hair? So you gotta understand that this y'all. Now, I'm not saying that y'all should like look. African people, y'all gotta understand. Y'all might be from South America. Y'all might be from Brazil and stuff like that. Y'all might just be a Portuguese, Black, Spanish person, not African at all. And South African people, you might be American people that was taken from America to West Africa. Backwards. Let's go backwards. Let's do the Torah on them. Let's go backwards and let's read upside down. Let's get Pig Latin on them. Let's talk backwards. Because they're trying to play us. Okay? They probably ain't bring nobody from West Africa to America. They probably brought people from America to West Africa. They gotta make the story make sense. The story had to make sense. They were doing a lot of changing, bro. So anyway, and you know it's all these people that went up north. They went up to the temple. It was like an area where they all went. It was like 100 priests, 100. The game was changing. And they did a big study. They even came to when they was in America, they was doing those expos. Certificates was given. So we could know who were, now you know who's who. Those people got certificates. They know who's who. They know who's here to play the game right on the street level. When I used to go downtown Brooklyn, I had to learn the hard way. When you come across them car people, or those, pick the, how many times you got ripped off? I got ripped off a couple times, because when you come to the car game, you trying to walk past and you hear, here, $20. You're like, $20. You come and you stand around. Then you see one person winning, you see the other person winning, somebody losing, they all in the game. It's like 3 or 4 people in the game. You don't even know. And they only really beating 1 or 2 people here and there. It'd be like 4 or 5 people around you. It's only probably one person they're making money off of. They be all in the game. People that be walking away and all that, they be in the game. So I just want y'all to know that. Like, the hustle is real. So just know that when y'all act like this is not the hustle. This is the hustle for real. The whole government and all that, this whole production they putting on with Trump and all them, the hustle is real. They playing like they hate each other, they like it, they this, and they getting rid of it. We getting rid of them. Don't worry, they're not getting rid of them. They're getting rid of whoever the fuck I don't know who they're getting rid of. Business is going to continue. This is big business. We got taken over by cokeheads, allegedly. They all on coca. They went down past the equator. They don't not past the equator, because where's the coca at? Is it past? Yeah, it is. It's in Central Mexico, America. Central America. And they got the coca, and they started to do a lot. I think everything is made from coke. I think the sugar we eating, I think the salt we eating, I think any little dust, I think it all got a pinch of coke in it or something. Like, I'm telling you, all this, where did they get all this element stuff from? Everything is not made from a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff we have is made from like the same basic groups, and they just like with eggs. Eggs is the same stuff, like mayonnaise, oil. This is all from the same groups. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to read these comments. I didn't get the whole comment in a race. It said something about if I did something. Did I know about Italy? Yeah. So Italy. It's just the Chinese people. It's the little short nomad Chinese people too. They all come from South America, mind you. I can show you how short and how they look. I follow this guy. So, and then the pizza thing. The pizza is because I think, like, I don't know why they make pizza like a kid thing. I still don't get that concept of like what the cheese and the sauce and like. I really think only because kids love pizza. So that's why they just like Italy love pizza, you know, and then you know. Those are the weirdest ones. The ones in the ghouls. That's where that's when, you know, it got creepy. Like, they was always diabolical and, like, you know, fighting over this, fighting over that. Like, they always wanted to be, these people want to be on top of something. They were very aggressive. And I think it's because they went past that equator. It's hot. Everybody know when it's hot and stuff like that. We already know what kind of attitude you have. So, you know, they really pushy over there. You don't see Asia? I got video of the kids pushing. They was just pushing each other, and no kid was crying. They just was pushing each other, and one turned around and pushed them on, and another. The kids was just pushing each other, right? And then when I see them get on the train, they're just pushing each other, and I'm like, if that was kids from America, like the kids I saw growing up in my family kids, like they would cry off of one push. I'll be like, oh my God, y'all so sensitive. You're not even sensitive, but these kids are spoiled brats. They'll fall out like, ah. These kids were just getting pushed and they just standing along like, oh, wow, get hit. Like, so they so pushy. Like, they're really stern people. They're very sterny people, and it's just hard to explain. They have the personality of a January Capricorn somewhat, like, because it's like very, like, because I'll go to somebody's house and if things is out of order, I will feel, I would not tell them I feel uncomfortable, but I will start to, like, fix things up and, like, just because I just feel like, it doesn't even have to do with me saying it's dirty, because I wouldn't say that things out of order don't have nothing to do with dirty. It's like, I want it in place. Like, I want the pencil to be, like, put the pencil straight and put the pen like this. So, I'm telling my personality, but they're way worse than that. These people are so keen, you know? So you got these keen, sharp people, Asian people or whatever. I don't know why they're so sharp and pushy. And then they go on into the Europe and the wicker area where they become even worse. How can you get worse than that? So now they're even worse than that. And then now if you look at the map where they talk about Tartaria, and you're looking at China and the Russian area, they show you in the corner, it's like I have it here. They show you in the corner, they say don't go there. It was like a circle where it says don't go, and it shows that they're eating people. They show that they show like a they do everything in picture. So it showed like a picture of an arm missing and this and that. So it was like, don't go in this area because they over there eating people. They was talking about themselves. Like, oh, they over there tweaking up there. They eating each other. So you understand, once you start to eat people, you change. So this is why you got mankind on the world. Yes, we are all one human race, but we are all not doing the same stuff. Okay? If you're eating a human being, you don't understand that you're causing, like if you watch the movie Book of Eli, they used to say, let me see your hands. And that's what I say about when they were saying the kill don't have fingerprints. Is he eating humans? Is he eating human meat? Because that's what will cause you not to have any, it will cause like something in your hands where you could tell somebody's eating human meat. It will cause like an issue in your fingerprint. So, yeah, they were talking about those people eating people and they biting baby heads and doing all this kind of stuff. Because they was drunk and idiot. Like, they didn't care. It wasn't much growing over there. It wasn't much going on. So they were very mean people. Like, they turned into Siberians and Vikings and all this stuff. Like, very, like, rowdy men, that's ready to just tear anything moving up. Because when you're in the wicker area and then you're turning into a ghoul or whatever because the sun and all these things, it's not because they wanted to. It's just your environment, and this is the product of that environment. So there you go. So now we got a bunch of, when you spread out the way they spread it out, now we got a whole bunch of things going on out here. And you think it's aliens. And they are aliens. When they come here, they are aliens because we alienated them. We got them the fuck out of here. We said, get out of here, eat Adam and Eve. Why would we kick Adam and Eve out? Why are all these people divined? Why are they divine people? Do you want to be divined? Or do you want to be connected to the grapevine? I told you that's where I get all my information from. I heard it through the grapevine. I'm not divine. I'm still attached to my umbilical cord. They have divined themselves by picking off and enduring into the fruit, the forbidden fruit. What could be y'all gotta understand they do things in a I might be saying this wrong, and I don't care. They do things in a trunda, which is by threes. That's why when you see Dr. Umar stuff, he repeats things 3 times, like he'll be like, and I told you, the DMG, and the DMG, and the DMG, he do it 3 times. It's like an entendre. So they do things in 3. So when they kick Adam and Eve out, does it mean just one thing happened? It could be more than one thing. Forbidden fruit. It could be messing with little kids. It could be biting the Adam apple out of your neck and becoming Eve. Adam could have became Eve, or Eve could have just been a man and became Eve. You see what I'm saying? Because you got to think about the concept. You think it's a coincidence his name is Adam and she bit an apple, and then men have Adam apples to determine that they're men. Like, men, the things that determine you're a man, one of them is an Adam's apple. And this is something that Eve bit. So you got to think of all the concepts of what did they get kicked out for? Because they never said that they actually in intercourse. She just ate a fruit that she shouldn't have ate and bitten off of the tree of knowledge, which means that they done took information, they stole as well. That's what they say. They done thief. And they took the tree of knowledge because they knew they had to get out of it. They knew they was going to get out of it. So they took information of how this world is. So they went on and they had their own world because they had the knowledge to do so. And they probably didn't mind going ahead about their own way because they wanted to live the life they wanted to live. Now, I'm not saying that Adam and Eve was gay. I have no idea. But it is about the transgender. It's about the transformers. Period. So when they say God don't recognize nobody, right? Well, not nobody. God don't recognize certain people, a certain person. They said that he sent somebody. Well, they said that somebody here that he don't recognize, right? It's in the Bible or something like that. I'm going to get into the Bible because you know it's man-made, and anything man-made, I am not taking it to church with me. I am not going to hold it dear to my heart because it's man-made. But trust and believe that the things that are in the Bible, it has been revised. But you got to understand, them revising, they are not going to be able to change the knowledge. They could only change probably like the faces to the knowledge. If they'll probably change like, oh, instead of you thinking this was a black person, they'll probably have you thinking this was somebody else. Like, oh, this is Jedediah, we're going to give this to the Muslim, we're going to give this. None of that information is dead. So that's the changing of it, of where it's at and who they're giving it to. But most of that information is probably accurate. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I'm trying to tell you. It's always a truth and lie, this and that. So we gotta start picking out your truths and start to. So everything has been contaminated. So I'm not gonna disregard anything that's being said. Period. And everything you read, make sure you know it. Take it for what it's saying. And just read into it. Stop changing stuff. That's what SETI tried to do. He was like, oh, it says Asiatic something. And he was like, oh, they threw a curveball. No, they did not throw a curveball, SETI. Read it as you say. Then he said, you see, it says it's burned. Yes, they were burned, brother. That's not a color. That's burnt. I go to DR. When I went to DR, I'll turn like 5 shades darker. Because people like me, the sun absorbs like crazy. So we could turn all kinds of colors. And if I get out the sun, I go light. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes in the winter, I'm mad light. I be looking like, what the hell? If I look like this in certain pictures, I look light. Some pictures light. And then in the summertime, I can get brown. I don't go out as much. So I'm like my real color right now with the sun. But when in the wintertime, I'll probably get lighter because you stay more in the house with no sun. And this is why when you go into England and stuff, it's so easy to see why color has started to fade away from them. And they show you during the time how the Semitics came. They were before all the Asians and stuff. The Semitics they come from the south. They coming down the Turquoise. I gotta show y'all that take because I don't know these people's names. I gotta look at the documentation. They know the stuff by name, like how philosophy, how young Pharaoh know. Young Pharaoh make money off of it. If you want to scam people and make money, you gotta learn this stuff by heart so you could be a speaker like Dr. Umar. But I don't try to make money off of this kind of stuff. It's not even something that's that important for you to learn. Where it's like, oh, you gotta learn about this divine kind of law. Yes, it's nice to be enlightened, but don't go so far like them because they are ridiculous people at some point. When it's like, yo, when y'all start talking about God and all that, it's like, they gotta go. Now y'all gotta go because I don't care what they say about Jesus. But when they get to the higher power part, I be looking like, dang, they disrespectful, because they got their own God. And their own, in the 10 Commandments, God tell you that they got their own God. So God is okay with that. And I'm okay with that too. But he tell y'all not to listen to that name. He be like, don't listen to them, no. He be like, you see what the 10 Commandments say. It's a commandment. That's the only thing y'all should be listening to. And I don't even trust the 10 Commandments. And because it's written in stone. And you know who the stoners are. The Stonehenge people are the South American people. They're like the Antarctic type people. They are the mound builders. They're the mound builders. They're the people that go they're the under tunnel people. They're the ones that go in the ground. They are like the ants. We are not Antarctic. We are Arctic. We are hierarchy. And that's why they kind of look at South America in a bad light because they are in the way how the world is. I think it's on a slope. on a mountain slope. I don't know what kind of slope it is, and they consider it a cinder. We could be on a big round mass, but our part of the world, we're not on that whole. We don't like as you see on the globe. The globe kind of show you that it's like a whole big back part that we don't know nothing about. We don't see none of that. Like they're trying to spread our world around it, but tell you the truth, our world is very compacted on this big mass bedrock that we are on. If you take all the water out, it's bedrock, and that's where you get the Flintstones meet the Jetsons, because at one point these rock builders and stuff was living in bedrock and stuff, and then the water worlds had brought them to was able to allow them to get to back to what they probably forgot about or always knew or whatever. But I don't know, they done changed so much that we just didn't recognize them and wouldn't let them back in. I don't know what was going on, but when they came back, they saw that we were on a whole nother level. We were on a whole nother level. And they had to change their dates, their times. They were sick and salty. That thing ain't right. They got nothing to do with us. Only why we was on a whole nother level is because of the Niagara Falls. The Niagara Falls is the most biggest, the whole world, the most biggest source of electric currency. And so that Niagara Falls, that's what they was fighting over. Don't get it twisted. That's all they cared about. They wanted that Niagara Falls so bad, and we had to split it to keep Nobel peace. That's what the Nobel Peace Prize is. If you get a Nobel Peace Prize, you're a sucker. You know? It's just to keep peace with the Nobels. We don't care about having peace with the Nobels. Okay? It's the part y'all don't get. So who cares about a Nobel Peace Prize? We're not trying to keep peace with them. They want us to share and all that, but I don't know about how much sharing we do. It's getting to a point where it's like, really? Do we got to share that much? Yeah, so why did I skip over Jesus? I'm skipping over stuff because this is how this is how I work. I'm sorry, y'all. Whoever bears with me, I really, really do heart you people, because it's very difficult to get with how all over the place I can get. But I try to just give as much information as I can that I know is somewhat factual. And of course, I try to tweak it a little bit with my ideas as well from off the stuff that I'm reading. I will get the stuff that I'm like, say with like Jesus, right? I get it because like if S-U-S in Spanish means there. And then, look, I looked it up. I'm telling y'all. I looked it up. It's like there something. What did the G-E stands for hey in English. I wish it was easier to find because it's so annoying when I'm trying to look for something and I just can't find it. Then I find something else and I talk about another subject, which is annoying. This doesn't go as well as my, this doesn't go as well. So yeah, there we go. Here it goes with Jesus. So I looked up the J-E, right? In Spanish, in Latin, it means like, well, this is L. Yeah, like the Elohim too is like him, the hymn of, I'm not even going to go through all this. All this is about a hymn, and Jesus and Cain, like say Adam and Eve, I don't know if they were gay or not. They're like, I don't know if she transformed. And also they also say Eve, the real story of Adam and Eve, right? Because you know it's the Zeus story of Adam and Eve. Then it's the actual like life of what we had going on in America that they won't let you know. So Adam is probably somebody, not in America, but Adam is probably somebody from the Philippines, right? Which is who the Philippines is claiming him, and that's probably why you get like Prince Philip and blah 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 blah, right? So the Philippines is claiming Adam, and then you gotta understand Eve could have been a woman from Japan. It meets California, so she could be from the West Indies. If you look at the picture, Google how Adam looked and Google how Eve looked. If you look at a real historian video, a good enough depiction, they're gonna show you a West Indian looking woman, and they're gonna show you a black looking brother, like you know, like somebody that will be like my father looking or whatever. So Adam was supposed to have been a brother, and Eve should have been like more of an African Asiatic woman, and they intermixed, which let them tell it was a problem as well. Eve is not an Adam. Adam, if you look at AD, it sounds like he's good to go, like Adam, like he's good, just like Abraham or Abe or Ab. That's away. Add is like in, like you're adding in. So Adam is a good sign to say, you know, this is like I don't know if you know where I'm going with that, but Adam sounds like a good reference to a human. Like yeah, Adam is good, but here comes Eve. What is Eve? EVE. Like it's no Adam, it's no Ab. So she's, we can't really define who she is with that name. So I'm assuming Adam could have became Eve in a weird kind of way, like the Baphomet in a sense, where they keep telling you, oh, they had a sister and a brother, or a sister and a brother. It usually sometimes could be the same person with the split personality of the Baphomet of feminine and masculine, right? Because Adam made Eve from his rib. And if you think about rib, take a rib away, and what is a rib? It's a cartilage. So cartilage is something like, oh, if I want to get my nose done or something, right? But cartilage also could be your Adam's apple. So Adam made Eve by removing some cartilage. Okay? So removing the Adam apple will create the woman, right? So this is the weird thing about it, son. I don't know what kind of weird stuff is going on, but I don't know if women was the original reproducers. If that makes any sense. Because it's kind of like you go back to the chicken and the egg. Like, what comes first? Like, you can't get the kid without the sperm, without the seed. You can't grow nothing without the seed. Right? The seed, but then you need all that nutrients and all that to grow it. So the seed is just one part, and then that woman takes over and hooks it up. So we're not mad at that. We're not going to take away from that job. That job is crucial. But what would she do without that seed? I'm telling you, need the seed. I'm not going to even play with y'all if y'all think they reproducing without a seed. It's impossible. You're not going to get nothing without seeds. You're not getting anything here without any seeds. Everything is being produced by, I don't care if it's an atom seed, a feather seed, a dust seed. It's seeds being in things and then start to ferment, or attach and whatever they do what they do. So anyway, I think if you look into history, as far as with the biblical and all of this religion stuff, I was looking into trying to find Atlantis. And when I was looking into that, I found a Donda name. I found Kanye mom's name. They spelled it as Donanda. But I look at the A-N. If you take the A-N and put the D there, it spells Donda. And if you think of A-N, it kind of spells and without the D. This is how weird they are. So that's why Donda is so important, because if you look up where Atlantis is, somewhere in Turkey, anywhere over there in area and with the Muslims area, it's like this marshland that they said Atlantis might have been. I don't believe in Atlantis. I think Atlantis is made up because it's like, I think it tells a story of that area. If Atlantis, I think what was they said Atlantis, they had a child named Atlas, right? Atlas. So they had a son named Atlas, right? But why would you name your son Atlas? Because in Latin, because it's like the las or los, right? Atlas or atlos. Las is feminine ending. So las means like what? The in Spanish, but feminine the. So why would you say like a feminine the? Like, because these words mean something. So it's like the something, but in a feminine version. Why wouldn't you name your first son Atlos? Atlos, not Atlas. Atlas is feminine, but they named their first son that Atlas, and not Atlos. Why? You have a man. You have a boy. You give him his O. You don't give him his A. You give him his O. But they didn't do that. So we see what kind of world we're living in over there, right? We see what kind of world Adam and Eve and Cain and them are creating, okay? Our core, we told you he should have came. Because, like I said, Adam made Eve out of cartilage. Well, he took his cartilage out, which biting the apple, the Adam's apple, creating a female. We wasn't with what they did. Well, this is their story. Because it's so, like I said, it's three different, so many versions of this story. But one of these versions is the transformer journey of them creating Cain. So and this is connected to the Donda thing. Because when I was looking up Atlantis, they showed me seahorses. Like they were like worshiping. It was like something in the throne. You got to catch it all. I said, what do they got the seahorse there for? Everybody know what the seahorse is. It's the only male that can have a baby. I said, I'm fucking confused. I said, these people are crazy as hell. They are the Atlantean people, whatever, that's finding Atlas, all the stuff y'all worship. They had the seahorse in there. I'm gonna try to get an organized clip show like how I do my celebrity, but it's so vast. I'll be there forever trying to get these clips together. With the celebrity stuff, the clips it took me like an hour, and it's like 10 or 12 clips. With history, I have to probably do like 100 clips. There's so many things, and I'm about to just delete everything and start from scratch. It's overwhelming. I can't even find nothing right now. Because it's so much stuff that you come across, like, oh my God, look at this, look at what they are showing us, what they're telling us. So the fact that they were showing us the seahorses, and the seahorse is the only male that gives birth. The female seahorse doesn't give birth. It's the male seahorse that gives birth. I was like, yo, these Adam and Eve could have been transformers giving birth to Cain, and that's why Cain, or it could be the brother and sister incest. And all these are three stories. It's like all different stories. Cain could be a good person as well. So we gotta understand there are like three different versions of these stories. I would like to organize the stories so it can kind of make more sense. But one of the stories is the transformer story. And this is why God does not recognize a certain person here. Because when you transform yourself from a male to female, once you take it to that point, God will no longer be able to recognize you, unfortunately, because he know that what he created. So once you do take off your genitals, or once you do remove things and then try to say you are something that you were not born to be, even if you feel you was born this way in your soul, yes, you could be whatever you want to be. But once you do a transformation, once you become a transgender, this is why the transgenders are so aggravated. They don't care about no gays. God will let a lesbian in as long as you look like yourself, sis. God will let a gay dude in as long as you come in flamboyant like yourself, sis. They are not gonna let you in if you come in as Donna, and you was once David. He's gonna be like, I don't know Donna. He's gonna have to tell Donna to go, because he created David. You understand what I'm trying to say? You cannot transgender yourself. You cannot cut your genitals off. You cannot do that stuff. You already know when the church, they tell you once you get the cutting yourself, you damn dead. The old people don't want you to cut. When they get old, they be like, oh, you ain't gonna cut me. It's in their psyche where they don't even want to go to the doctor no more when they get older. Because they not stupid. They know they want to get rid of them, So older people smart as hell. They stay away from the doctor. And then when they do get sick and they have to go, they hate to get cut. Because they feel like once you cut, it's over for them. They feel like that next stop is a wrap. I don't know what the psyche is about that, but I've heard them say this so much. Yeah, I didn't catch that. I'll tell you, let me see if I don't even want to start touching stuff. I tell you, I'm not this good at this stuff, and everything was shut off. But I definitely will read you guys' comments after. I do appreciate all the comments that I get. I read every single one, and if they are informational, I really appreciate that, because I really get off on information. Even if I like other people's insight, I love opinions. I'm not into like somebody telling me something about a fact, because everybody has information that I feel like that could be very much well factual in groups of people world survey wise. But people don't understand that. They think everything is just one way, and thinking that is just stupid. I am so out the box with everything. I like to be universal. Like, I like everything. I just don't like people that's not being fair. So when I talk about like certain people, like immigrants or Asians or whatever, I'm just talking about the people that's over here corrupt and just taking over and controlling us, like, and being mad weird because they want to have things they shouldn't be touching and having, and they have to be important people, so we don't tell them nothing about it. Mind your business, not in your pay rank. Man, it's made up. Y'all just want to be freaks and weirdos. And then the people that's supporting you is losers. They just want to not be in the hood. They just don't want to work the 9 to 5. So the people that, any Chinese or immigrant people that's just working honest businesses that didn't get it through the, the Illuminati and stuff, you just a mom and pop one store, nobody's talking about y'all. But people that got franchises all over and just came in this country and just opened 3 stores, yeah, we talking about you. And we're talking about all those other people and stuff like that comes over here with these deals, and they are so disgusting with their fake made-up celebrity, and everybody don't know what's going on, and they distract us like with all this ghetto stuff. I hate it, and then they act like that's what we like. No, that's what other people like, and it's because they stupid. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, if y'all like that stuff and y'all just keep watching these people argue for 2 weeks. I knew what Brother Polite did in 1 hour. I ain't need to have 4 days of Brother Polite messing with a 14-year-old in my head. I ain't need to go to sleep every night. And I'm not saying I watched it, but I'm just saying if you did watch it, that's what you would do. You go to sleep every night with that information in your head. Till it gets in your head enough where they can put the P at the end of that LBG. Don't let them do it. And then on top of that, where's the outrage, right? Where's that outrage lady? 14-year-old Brother Polite, where is the outrage? She couldn't even talk about it. She done got off. And then this is what I'm talking about with Jesus as well. With the Nazareth, what's it called? I gotta find this picture. The Nazareth something? The Nazareth with the Jesus? Oh, I looked that word up. That word breaks down into don't spend no money with the South Africans. And I'm gonna show you how it says. It shows you literally when you break that word down. The Nazareth something with the with Jesus. Oh my Jesus Christ, where is the fucking thing at? I gotta show y'all that. I'm trying to hit certain points before I go because I want to erase a lot of this stuff out. So I'm gonna be here for a little bit of time and try to get as much as I can out. I'm also gonna go over Brother Polite and Jay-Z. I believe they are the same person, in my opinion. Brother Polite has been wearing face masks and he's been playing the role of Jay-Z. Did y'all catch that? He's basically explaining to y'all he's masked, and he wears mask, and it means mask.
This is who you give people an impression. This is who you give people an impression. This is who you give people two sounds. The first thing you get is mask. So person.
First thing you get is mask.
So person. This is who you give people an impression that you are. When people meet you, you have your. This is who you give people. First thing you get is mask. Person. Etymologically, before you get to personas, two sounds, the first thing you get is mask. So person.
They're just aligned in our thinking and thoughts and, the way they care about products and creating products. When we built...
that you are, when people meet.
Now...
I still got my eyes on the prize. And so, next time I do, you guys are going to be
I don't know why it's not showing. But if y'all don't, I hear the voice. One thing I know, I have a good intuition about stuff. Brother Polite is giving so much Jay-Z vibes, it's not even funny. And then the fact that he said he wears mask and that he's not even the person that y'all think he is because he's wearing mask. And he said mask so much. I was like, if he's not probably playing Jay-Z with mask on. Now, I know Jay-Z is a real person, so because I've had children, Marcy, and I know people of his age that knew Jay-Z but had no respect for him. They don't even talk about him in no kind of way. They be like, who? That as if he just ran in the house and ran out the projects. You understand what I'm saying? They don't have no respect for Jay-Z and Marcy in his age group. Okay? That's one, because I've been in there, I had friends in there, and people that took the guys in there that was his age, and they didn't have anything much to say about him except that they know of him and knew a building where he lived, but he wasn't never really out there. He always was flying out and flying, just to show your fit, just to show their face. These people will be put in neighborhoods and they show their face, or they probably had to live there at some point to, do what they had to do, and then they go. So I'm not saying Jay-Z was not a real person. But you gotta understand that it's either these people are directly related, or they could have gotten rid of Jay-Z. Like, I mean, come on, like they do this. Like, if you haven't seen Kanye, do you think that's Kanye? Like, have anyone confirmed this is Kanye? Like, you think? Look, his number one album is 93, and like, what is that? Number one album in 93 countries. What does that even mean? Is it 93 countries? Is that how many countries is in the world? Or they just picked that number for fun? So why does he look like some rapist, some Mexican rapist? And I'm not even trying to be funny with Mexicans, but if they, stereotype wise, in the movies that Mexicans will put a penny over their head and be like, why is he doing that? Why is he putting these guys are weirdos? Cut these things off of them. Some of these people need their thing cut off. I mean, what is this? Why are they showing this guy like he a raper? They talking about 14-year-old girls. Look at this. No disrespect, but come on. Look at this. Look at the necks. Look at the necks. I'm not trying to be rude, but they're not born M's. They're not born G's. F's. They're not born F's. Children. Is this even a children? That's what you need to start asking yourselves. Why do they keep having this? Why do they keep having that on their neck? Why do they keep having it on their neck? Like, why is their neck going straight across like that? It doesn't make any sense. Is it some type of race line then? Because if so, they're fine. And then he's like, oh, look at my beautiful daughters. I'm like, I hope they are your daughters. He's so weird with his sons. Ew. He's so weird with his sons. His son's always doing that same Harlem shit. The one that looked like him. I'm like, is he serious? Is he a robot? Why is he still doing the Harlem shit? He's still doing that shit from like 2002. I said, I don't get it. You too rich to just still be in the same Harlem shit. He don't change that dance for nothing. That's weird. I know that. I don't know. Diddy didn't come up with the Harlem shake. So what is he so obsessed with for? Yeah, I think he does his own son. Because they got, it's like some weird thing where it's like, probably like we have to be, he's bust out. He probably was a bust down in the whole industry for these men. So in my opinion about all of this, allegedly, So I wouldn't be surprised if he's super weird with his own children and so forth, so they could be very successful. If they are part of the sick world, they will live a great life, They pass the tradition down. Unfortunately for them, that's just the way it works, y'all. That's just the way it works. They are actually slaves, actually. The mother, Diddy mother and them, it looks like they are, the parents are very much involved. So they get passed down by the parents. That's why young Pharaoh said that about his girl. And if you look at that girl, oh my God, I can't find nothing, boy. I'd be pissed that I can't find nothing. How you want to show all this stuff? Yeah, I can't find it. Let's fuck up. I don't know what I'll be trying to look for. Yeah. I don't know what I was about to say anyway. But anyway, yeah, so I would also show, yeah, none of this stuff is working out for me. Because it's just way too many pictures. Here go the Donda Park thing. See how we spell it D-O-N and then it's A-N-A? But if you remove the A and the N and put a D, which is like and, it's kind of, how they play this game. It's like, it's the same word anyways. It's just without the D. So if you take the A and N and then put D, it's like Donda. It's like Donda. And it's in southern Spain. So this is southern Spain. Thank you. Yeah, so this is in This is in southern Spain, which is, like I said, it's the Latin. So we already see that these are black Latin people. These are black African. You ever saw? It's like a show where they have, and it's like a princess. What is it? Princess something. She was a Spanish princess, and the people that used to be fighting the knights and all that, they were black Spaniard men. They were black looking brothers, Spaniard men. So yeah, I don't get how people don't understand that it's just it's literally it's a us versus them situation. In their head, it's us versus them, and they done took everything from us, disrespected us, stole our religion. Now with Christianity, it's tight, right? Christianity is America, right? We do that. That's our thing. The church and Christianity is ours, right? But when the Asians and the Chinese people came over, that's why they're in Freemasons. Freemasons are Christians. They do represent Christian, but they added in the Jesus Christ. When you saw the movie 12 Years a Slave, remember that guy, didn't he get stolen? He got stolen. He was a Dutchman. He was a Dutchman from Greenland. Greenland and all that, Iceland and all that is America still. It's part of the Arctic. Because it's part of the Arctic, it's part of America because we are from the Arctic. So, I'm starting to get just stuff on my lips. That means I've been talking for too long. But anyway, yeah, so with the Freemasons, they done took over Christianity because when the Asians first came with us, when they started to really like incorporate us, I think they helped us with, I think we did the railroads, but they helped with the trains. I think they kind of like, they had a little input with the trains. I'm not sure exactly where you gotta think about it. When we got kicked out of heaven, the musician or whatever that got kicked out, and then you got the people that came with him, that was the engineer. We got the star, the singer, and then we got the engineer. He came with us, the Chinese guy. He's in there engineering. We've been together since day one. We got kicked out together, right? So they just started tweaking on us. I don't know what's up with these guys. We had kingdoms, and we were all living up towards, up North America. All that is happening up north in America, like, upstate and, New York. And when it comes down, that's why our half in the east is so flourished. And then the west got flourished when they came back around through the Bering Straits. When it was like a full circle, when it was like, oh, we knew the white people were coming. Yeah, because we already knew who they were. So they must have known that they were set out to explore and they was going to come back eventually. And they swung back around. It was like they found out it was full circle. They realized the earth does not end. It does not, you know what I mean? They tell you this in school. They figured out the earth don't just fall off. You don't just fall off. You just end up back like the Mario Brothers, like do. Like you go this way and you end up this way, like, oh shit, we back in California. Then they popped out probably even whiter, shorter, and Chineser, coming from that way cold to back to the heat. They jumped on the Tolkien's backs, which was descendants of us. That's when the red, brown, mahogany, brown, and they started to turn yellow. Then they became Semitic, and then they became Asian. Hey, what you laughing at? Anyway, so if you laughing, it better be a good laugh. So, yeah, so anyway, so it's us versus them. And the Christianity was taken from the Chinese, and they knew that we loved it so much. So when they came back in like 12 Years a Slave and had an Asiatic person come and harass us in our area, we was working, not as slaves, but as like, had our own thing, and then they turned it into debt somehow. But anyway, he was coming and they tried to make it seem like this guy was coming to preach to them the Bible and this and that, like enforcing Christianity on them. But in reality, they already had their churches and stuff, so would that make any sense? No, right? They were changing things. They were forcing a change. They was forcing a change in the church word. Maybe adding Jesus Christ in it as your Lord and Savior. Now, I don't know if you watch Walking Dead, but the last time I checked, the Saviors don't look like that much of a good person. With Negan in them. Wasn't they the Saviors? Right. And it's not like he was a bad person. It was for the greater of the good. And then once everything got all good, then they tried to clean their dirty knives, their bloody knives, like, Oh no, we government now. We put our wigs on. They put their wigs on because they had hair like us. They were mixed. And they didn't want to show y'all that they had black hair. I'm gonna show you that guy. I think Young Pharaoh mentioned some guy named something Jackson. I think he was trying to be funny with me. But the thing is, that guy, that general guy, don't look like, I don't look like them. They look like us. Cause I'm gonna show you how. I don't know. I never found the picture yet, but let's see if it works this time. I'm gonna show you. He looked like me. I don't look like them. They look like us. Look at the hair. It's a dead giveaway. Their hair was a dead giveaway. That's why I don't like you to look at features. Because when you look at features, it's a dead giveaway. And they don't like that. They don't like dead giveaways. What is that? Okay. Yeah, and I'm gonna get daylight one day. I'm gonna get daylight one day. He's over here talking Lucifer stuff and this and that. He keep going. I'm gonna do a little. He's gonna end up on my twinsy list because I know I'm cool with who I think he plays. So, and I got more information on it. So I don't want, I don't like to bother people that I'm cool with, and it's all in love at the end of the day. But he keeps talking that Luciferian stuff and worshiping what he likes because he's, from South America. And that's what he, they want to pretend like they don't get it. And they do be in California, they migrate up there. So they got all mixed over there. So you don't know if it's probably, one of us or it's one of them or it's, and if it is one of them, so, but are you a part of the bullshit? That's the problem. Are you part of the bullshit when you come over here? Because if you ain't part of the bullshit and you just coming to work, come on over here and work. I don't care if you get a job over here. Get on and get them jobs. Because I'm gonna get a job too, whether y'all believe it or not. So the people that's coming over here talking about, they trying to play people. I don't like that. So I'm gonna keep blowing y'all up. Stop trying to confuse the people in the Holy Land because we don't live the same thing as the water world. We're not living the same thing as the water world. The underworld meaning down, and we're up. And you're not saying up as we're better, but as far as the scale of the mountains and the landmass, and only why the North America and the part where we live in is so crucial because it's flat land. Find somewhere else that got flat land. I'll wait. While I look for this picture, I'll wait. Where else got flat land? Like the America that we showed you. Who has flat land? They live on mountains. They live on water. They live on islands. They live on moving islands. They live on everything under the sun. But they don't live on flat land. We're inlanders, they're outlanders. They don't live in inland. Look at the end of the rainbow. This is in Cape Horn. This is the last stop before Antarctica. So if you want to look for the pot of gold, you're at the end of the rainbow, go to the last stop before Antarctica. And they say when you go through that water, that's the Drake Passage. So you see why Drake is the sixth god. Because the Drake Passage is the most dangerous waters to get to Antarctica. And they say even when you get to Antarctica, you got to do a turn. You got to do like a round. Like that's the last, you can't even go beyond. There's no circling around. You have to about face. So, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that because it gets real magically down there because of it's right next to the magnetic field. So that's probably why they tell you not to get the Drake Passage, and it's the dangerous waters going towards the Antarctica from Cape Horn. So yeah, you see why these people that I don't want y'all to think these celebrities are like normal people. The celebrity is probably Aubrey is probably a regular person, but once they sign them 360 deals, they got to change their name to Lotto 777. You see what I'm saying? They can't use the name they use. They got to use their name. You're now Lotto 777. Look how they changed that out. She look mad different now, right? Like why they always look like they get a bigger body? It's like I'm telling you, I'm gonna be shocked if they take the real person. And they take them somewhere, and then the inside is a machine. Because why do they always get bigger bodied? Why is they always getting like a thicker? And you think, oh, she got boobs on her breast. And no, I think they making it seem like that because they got that machine inside them. So they got to make them a bigger person. And they always look like a wider person, like Kanye. Kanye's so fucking big. Oh, he got life. Look at Rob Kardashian. Rob Kardashian was a crybaby, wasn't he? he was like always whining about like, you know, everything, calling Kim a hoe. So I wouldn't be surprised if they changed Rob out, you know, and turned him into some, like, you know, changed him out for some woman and then she's playing Rob, or like a fat robot that's playing Rob, like, because these people are like, they're always bigger when they, you know, sign these threes. When they get pop, when they get hot, it's like they no longer look like they're a human. They always get like they're eating a lot of steak and potatoes and starch, like they so solid and big bone. And it's like, how does somebody like bone structure change like that? You would think, oh, because they're eating better, but I don't know. It's something about it. I told you, it goes back to the movie Surrogates. I mean, check it out. They already going to technology. They're already making Domino's drop off your pizza by car only. I advise you to only really, this is the only thing I really get involved in. So when I talk about Jesus Christ, it's like, I don't see nowhere in the 10 commandments that where he say to even listen to him. Y'all like, oh, he appointed him. Where say that at? This is what they say. God talked to this dude. This nigga, he went so high in the mountains. And you know, when you go so high in the mountains, the ear gets so low. Who knows who spoke to him here? You know, but let him tell it. I ain't mad at what they wrote. And you know the South Americans is the one that got all our information anyway, won't give it to us. So I believe the 10 commandments. God keeps it simple. So, you know, I'll read them off real quick. Thou shall, and you know thou, and when they be like towards the night before Christmas or thee, that's how we talk. We be like thee or twas or twice, like that's not no English person speaking. You ever heard them say twice or the thee, or you know the thee over there? That's us talking. You know, twas and thou. They be like thou shall. You know, you talk about thou. That it just sounds like something that we would say. So I just feel like this makes somewhat sense, and they do steal our stuff. They give us the 10 commandments in stone, and then you got your Bible, and the Bible is stories. These stories where smoke is fire. So I do read into these stories, but you know they're going to give you some exaggerations and some blah, 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 blah. So, you know, I read all of that stuff, and I'll take whatever I need, and I'll leave whatever I don't want. So yeah, thou shalt have no other gods before me. That's number one. Because so he know it's more than one. He know that there's other gods out there. But he telling you, thou shalt have no other gods before me. So you can play with Zeus and all you want, but when you get to 00 zing zing got no higher, have no other gods come before that. So just follow that rule. It's simple, right? Then it says, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. So they're saying don't put him in a bad light. Don't talk about him bad. And all that stuff they be saying they do. So they're disrespecting rule number 2. 3, thou shalt not take the name of Lord thy God in vain. So yes, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God. So the Lord thy God in name. So the Lord is God. I don't know, whatever. Anyways, basically saying don't use his name for nothing. I don't know. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. I guess they're trying to say don't go outside on Sabbath day because a lot of people get hurt. I think that's Sunday or something, like, or Saturday or something like that. Honor thy father and thy mother. So it's very simple, you know. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Don't say nothing about appointing Jesus to listen to him. So the thing is, if y'all want to go through Jesus Christ, that's fine. But I feel like he was pushed upon us because that's the interlude of the Chinese people trying to add their little sense in, just like with Buddhism and stuff. First, when I used to love Buddhism, I got like a Buddha monk that's sitting on my desk or whatever. It's a money Buddha or whatever, and I also had the Naga Buddha. But originally, I like all religions, but I do tend to like Buddha better because of the principles only. My first principle I ever saw was in 3rd grade. It was thou shalt do unto others as others should do unto you. I take that with me forever in my life. It stuck out to me in 3rd grade. I loved the quote, and ever since then I kind of like the Buddhism. So anyway, and then they start the Bible off with a quote, right? It's like sharing is caring and blah, blah, blah. So you can see the influence of Buddhism coming in there with their principles of whoever's writing this Bible or helping to probably fix some things in. They probably threw that quote in because they like principles. They can't help themselves. So you can see the printings of them. So anyway, yeah, so I liked the Buddhism when it was the Nagas. And then obviously here goes Chinese people putting their little sprinkle dust on things. I don't know if it was originally theirs. Nothing is never originally theirs. They're always adding on. So or they're just like they're chameleons for real. They're very chameleon type people. Like the Geico, whatever, I don't know. But anyway, that's why they like the dragons. Like, and then you see the Leo as well, like the lion. Like, I'm not gonna get all into that. I'll get into the January Capricorn and the August Leo another day with the dragon and the lions. As far as when the Chinese people are dancing around with the lions and they dance around with with the dragons. So the dragon and lion, and that's why they got the lion in front of the Egypt. So y'all gotta understand all that stuff, and you gotta understand why. When you start the stories with Cronus and the Titans, and they say that the guy just kept eating the babies and stuff, y'all gotta think they probably was talking about animals, because before humankind, there were animals roaming the world, and somehow we evolved and became here as well. So when they talking about Cronus and this and that, they might not be talking about spirits. They may be talking about the animal kingdom and this, how they had the Lion King and all that. Because think of what animal, only animal that would eat their own children is lions. No other. I've seen animals eat their babies, but probably because they were dead or sickly. But a lion would eat their cub just because it was black and it could be aggressive. Like some of the lions, I seen the mother lions eat their cub, and I seen a male lion eat their cub. So you gotta understand that they're probably thinking of when that guy kept eating the kid. As soon as they grabbed it, he ate the kid. It sounded like because he was told that they will come to take his spot. That's a lion thinking. That's why the lion eats their cub, because they like, oh, don't buck up here. Don't buck up here. You understand what I'm saying? So it's the same concept of what they're telling you when they're religious. And anyway, I'm not gonna go there. It's hard to explain, but I'm pretty sure that's the concept of when he was eating all them kids up. And it's because basically it was probably animals that they were referring to. At first I thought it would probably be monkeys, but monkeys don't eat they children. They run around with them and drag them around. They might die, but they don't eat them like how a lion will annihilate you just because you barked up at them. You understand what I'm saying? They look like, oh, you threatening me? And they attack. And it'll be a deadly attack, even if it's their young, because of the mindset of them wanting to be on throne. So that's why they dance around with that lion, and that's why they dance around with that dragon, because you already know how a dragon is. It's the snake, it's the alligator, it's that kind of it's like the serpent. It's like and if you really look at a dragon, a fire breathing dragon, it kind of looks like the goat as well. Like that, it kind of has that triangular situation, the angry fire breathing dragon, which I have a tattoo of on me, because of the Capricorn is a goat, is half goat and is half serpent. You understand what I'm saying? So. And yeah, where's the outrage lady? Let's get back into the Capricorns with the Nazareth. See, I jump all over the place and it's sad. It's really sad. Because where was the outrage with the 14-year-old brother play stuff? Like, when you want to check your own 5% brothers, but yet you dip off. You just dip off because you couldn't talk about you couldn't talk about the concepts because you're corrupt. And you don't want to pretend you're corrupt because you're over here talking about you trying to save kids, but you're really not saving nothing, but you're just doing your job as a 5%er. I just wanted to show you young Pharaoh's big mother too. Like, I'm telling you, when you line them up from where they're from, when you line them up from where they're from, you could tell exactly what's going on here. And I'm not trying to be funny, like far from that. I'm trying to show you that when she say like, oh, I don't want to work for the white man. Remember she was saying like something like that, like, oh, I let him do this. This is the concept they have in their heads, because this is the kind of life they have to live. These people think that's their, and then they'll take advantage of these ones and their religions and what they believe in. Like, it's just, So yeah, I'm gonna just skip over that. But if you line them up together, they all look like where they're from. So that's why when they say we're African, I'm like, bro, if you put me like, if you don't get out here, if I smack you, you put me right where I belong in the hood, and you gonna line me up with everybody from the hood, and we gonna look alike. They weird. They weird that they was trying to say we come from the lines of the longs of Noah. Like, no, you come from Noah. If you look at Noah's name, it's like Noah. Like, no, I don't think so. Yeah, that's where y'all come from. That's not us. And now, if y'all think everybody from South America died in the flood because y'all don't like them, because that's where y'all from, that's your business. What does America got? Why did y'all drag us in that? Why did y'all drag us in who is more important on y'all end of Asia? What we got to do with that? And why y'all started switching everybody up and putting people here and putting people there? I think y'all took people from America and put them in South Africa. That's why y'all treat them so weird. And that's what that Nazarene thing means too. The thing with Jesus Christ. I'm looking for the words because I'll look them up and I break them down and then oh man. And I just can't find it. And it's sad because it's good stuff. It's good stuff. I can't find it. With the Jesus Christ, and then when they were trying to kill Jesus, remember they were trying to kill him, and it was 2 years of them killing toddlers, and it began on December 28th. When they gave that order to kill all toddlers, anything under 2 years old, just murdered it. For 2 years they were murdering children from December 28th. Like, do you get that birthday, December 28th? The children. They were all being murdered that day. And then people out here preaching like, save the children, where's the outrage? And they're gone when it's time to talk about saving them. 14-year-old need to be saved. They ain't have nothing much to say. They're gone. December 28th, they were murdering a whole bunch of children. They ordered. Y'all gotta understand that these people get appointed. Oh, y'all think people slow. Y'all think people real slow. When you hear people screaming loud like, ah! It's like a God. They think they're using a God voice. You ever watch that show, The Preacher? I love that show when it went off. Every time the preacher wanted people to listen to him and do exactly what he said, he used that God voice like, ooh, and then they did he'll say, shut your mouth or put it in your butthole, and then the head would go in the button. You ever saw that movie, the show The Preacher? Come on, I believe, what was that, A&E or something? They use the God voice. Anybody yelling, turn. When they start to yelling like, ah, and that means they just trying to manipulate you so bad. And it's like, just lower the mute them and turn. Definitely something suspect about the fact that person was only able to stick to that script. And I'm not going to say their name because they're so freaking retarded. Like, not saying them, but I'm just saying I don't want to be like, ah, like, so I ain't guess, and it's not hard to guess because I talk about them all the time, 5%, blah, 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 And yeah, that birthday, it was just very weird connection because that's what the Nazareth of Jesus Christ, though, when they called for him to do that. I swear I'm so pissed that I can't find what I'm looking for. Because I just really want to make that point with the Nazareth. Because the Nazareth stood for don't make no money with the South Africans. With the South Africans. That's what it stood for. I'm telling you. I'm going to show you how the word broke down, and it literally gives you that name. And I said, what the fuck? Like, just like Nazi. Nazi means no Syrian Jews. The Na means no, and the C means Syrian. It stands for Syrian Jews. Just Google it, and it comes literally up. So that was weird, And then here go with the Nazareth as well with Jesus. And I literally got to find it because if I don't find it, I'm not going to be able to tell you the words exactly. Oh, this is weird. Yeah, it's not going to be easy to find because there's just so much crap in here. And it's just not going to be something that stands out either. It's not standing out. Okay, yeah, you can see this. This is like a good thing. Oh man, I had did a video on it. Just wanted to like pause this, yeah. So it says there's ancient underground cities big enough to house 20,000 people. So yeah, they do have an underworld. They actually have a government there. Who knows if Cardi, Stink B, and everybody else is there? Cause who the hell is on stage with Offset? Like who was that on? At what's that? What's it called? When they had the concert, I don't remember it. I mean, not Hot 97. I think it's I forget what they have every year. But yeah, she performed, and I mean, I don't know what that was. I think it's a machine. There's no way somebody's face could really, that could be somebody's real face. I'm sorry. But anyway, if y'all think that's a real person, they're taking them under these plates. They're letting them, whatever. I don't know how this works. I really don't. I wouldn't be able to explain exactly how it works. If they either kill them or they let them go somewhere else with it. Like pick your favorite family member, and that's why their family member is dying. And these people die because they come with them. Like, oh no, let somebody come with me, you know? Like, yeah, so I don't know exactly how that works, but they definitely have homes. And did y'all see the scam, the fake scam with like when G Herbo went to the party of his baby mother Ari? Like that was a big scam because she was there. She was there as Dream Doll. She was there as Dream Doll. That Ari took a picture and Dream Doll was right there in the picture. Like she posted this on her page to be funny. Like, oh, G Herbo was there, but so was Tiana. So that's why it wasn't a big. G Herbo went by herself because Tiana was there as Dream Doll. I know y'all don't believe it, and I don't know why. I showed y'all the video. They literally twins. If they're not the same person, then they're clones, or not clones, but they're twinning them. They're making them somehow. I don't care how they're making them. I showed you plenty of ways how they could make them with no problem. And I showed you the seahorse. They believe in seahorses, so I wouldn't be surprised if these are all men, and they figured out how to have children in a way like how the seahorses, because the seahorses, the male having children. So I believe that they are also having their children as well. Like these gay men are able to have children. You see what I'm saying? Like you get what I mean? Back in the days, they said Mary, the biblical Mary or Rachel. What was her? Who was she? Rachel or something like that. That was, and then she had Joseph. It was Jacob's wife, one of the favorite wives or something. And they were all young women, and she couldn't have children at first, so she had two children. She had a slave black woman have children of Jacob's for her until she was able to eventually have her own son, which was Joseph, and he became the favorite of blah 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 blah. So you see, from the beginning of the time, they was doing talesmaids, and that's why Kim Kardashian had no problem with having a black woman have their children, and I'm pretty sure Kylie and them did that stuff as well. They are not females. They are not females, allegedly. They are seahorses. They are men, gay men having children, and they're with these black. You saw Kim Kardashian bring one of the black women on. They're having their children, okay? And they're having our children. You saw that black woman. She wasn't no. I'm pretty sure she wasn't no African Asiatic. They're having us have them something about Mary. They're letting the Mary women have them because they say those Mary women, like the women from America, are probably more prone to have sons, and the women from on the other side are prone to have more girls. It's just the yin and the yang of it. I don't know why. Let somebody. I believe that the lineage of the woman is the Asiatic, and then the lineage of the man is, and I'm not going to explain that either. If you don't get it, you don't get it. But it's just like how they follow Mary and they follow Joseph bloodline, like Mary's bloodline. Just so it's the feminine bloodline, it's the male bloodline. So if we're from the male dominant bloodline, we could probably have more sons, and then you from the feminine bloodline, you'll probably have more girls out there. Which is why the Little Mermaid had 8 daughters. And they give daughters away for cows and political gain and blah blah. They could use these extra children, these extra girls. They use them like, yo, it's all these freaking girls. So, and then they want them, anyway. And some of them fight, just like, what's that Chinese movie where the girl was a boy and then she became, the boy. It's the same concept because at the end of the day, they said it really was a boy. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. They all boys. They all got kicked out, exiled. The Bible is following the exiled people and how they replenished that whole Asian area. How they became all those people over there. That's what the Bible is about. If y'all don't, in all religion, it's all the same stories. You get it, right? It's just all in different languages. They use, if you see the vowels, they'd be like Muhammad with a U, Muhammad with a O, Muhammad with an A, Muhammad. It just means all those Muhammads, it just tells you what region they're really from. Like the Muhammad with an A would be here, the Muhammad with an O. This is how they speak, this is how their tongues roll. So it changes, but it's the same stories. The religions are the same stories. I'm telling y'all it is. With Osiris and this, with Adam and Eve, with this person and that person, it is all the same stories. Y'all all got kicked out. Y'all all got exiled. They kicked y'all out. We got kicked out of heaven and y'all got kicked out of and we got on earth and then y'all got kicked out of earth. Y'all got sent on to the desert part. And I'm trying to tell y'all that. Y'all kept getting, but people kept getting worse. You get kicked out. You get alienated. And then you come back saying you an alien. I don't know why. That's your business. I don't know what makes you an alien. Just because they were alienated people, they got kicked out. Exiled. They've been exiling people all this time. And just like with this stuff right now, how they're killing people and they're pretending they're dying from COVID, it's politics. It's politics. The politics is changing. They literally be killing each other. Like, oh, we changing governments and some of these people's heads gotta roll. That's it. Like, and that stuff don't really got nothing to do with us. And they trying to evolve us in a weird way, so we don't be so confused about what's going on. So they act like, oh, we're getting sick and this and that, but they're not gonna tell us exactly what it really is. You know. You just gotta know your history and how this stuff has already been happening. They already played these games before. Yeah, I just wanted to show you this. Yeah, like their teeth. Like I could show you a lot of these people, like some of these I saw like on TV, they keep having these fang teeth. So I wonder, are they really mixed with, like, and I don't think they mixed the DNA with canine. I think that somehow, some way, we are like our pets. So if you live in like monkey land, pet land, you kind of look like a monkey. If you live in shark, snake land, reptile land, like South America, where you probably got like a bunch of snakes and rattled and alligator, or like Florida with alligator, you probably look like an alligator or like a snake. You know what I'm saying? And also with us, like with the horses and the bears, I know plenty of people that look like a bear. And I know a guy named Bear, and we look like horses and stallions and things like that. So, and some of the Muslims look like them goats from the Himalayas. They look like the goats. I mean, the mountains. We look like the animals. I'm telling you, I don't know why. You gotta ask somebody. Look at the bird-like females from like up towards like with that bird. They look kind of like pelican. Nice features. I'm not saying that these are not nice features. I'm just saying that some of these people resemble the animals of the land that they migrate from, which is weird. That you'll look like the pets of the land that you're from, right? And I wouldn't say that you're mixed with them. I'm just saying that things are being produced there, and you look like it just so happens that you may look like that's what is being produced there. That's what things look like over there. I believe Tiny looked just like Ari in this picture. I mean, there's no going around that. I thought that was Ari for a second, and it was literally, and you can't tell me that Ari and G Herbo might not be family. That they may not, I'm telling you, these people are related, for sure. Having children and everything together. And oh my God, and then these people with the special needs kids. I have no issues with special needs kids. I actually work with them, and I love special needs and all that. But look at most of these people that have special needs kids. That's on YouTube, and then collects money and stuff too for it. Something is weird about this. Something is weird about them having special needs kids while all of them got special needs kids. It's a lot of celebrities that got special needs kids. It's a lot of people on YouTube that got special needs kids. And I'm just like, it's a lot of special needs kids around, right? But it's a whole lot of healthy children. So why in celebrity land or in YouTube land there's so many special needs children? Like, how do they get in this group like that when it's not like that in reality? You don't get, you might have a person here, and it's so random. But there it's just, it's more common. So stop the incest and stop the, you know what I'm saying? Or stop the weird way of they're having children weird, yes, her too. Exactly. Alexis Sky, all of them. And then let's be honest, did she really even have a kid? She had a kid at like 5 months. She never even let that belly grow. Just like with Kim Kardashian, she was like, I'm not even going to pretend I'm pregnant for the next 2. I'm not holding that fake stomach on me. Like, come on. And her mother was a doctor, so you can't even confirm if she had that baby or not. The mother was a nurse. So you see how they got their connection, how it really works. Okay? I don't know why y'all pretend. She already said she was a sex slave herself. So we already know this is where they all coming from. You're not going to be on TV without that story. You're not going to be on TV. I'm just telling you, you're not going to get that platform without that corruption. I'm telling you that. Where's the outrage? Couldn't even talk about polite. Like, is you kidding me? And then your birthday is the same day as the day they ordered all toddlers to be killed for 2 years? Sheesh. What a title to run with. Then they give you certificates. They got a certificate too with their fake name on it. These people are corrupt as heck. And y'all sat there and gave them mad cash apps. Y'all gave them mad views. They was laughing at my little channel, laughing at little channels like, you ain't got nothing. But yet they are disgusting people. They was sitting there talking about they was going. They're like, oh, you want a kid at the border? Like it was a burrito. Oh, who wants a kid at the border? You want to call me? Let me know if you want a kid at the border. Like they burritos to pick up. And then they like, oh, we handling business out there. And then she said something about going to get kids. I was looking like, and then she got a special need one too. Is y'all kidding me? Wow. I don't know what's going on. Is they even female? Hello? Huh? Y'all don't even get it. Look at Snooki. Is these their children? Is this their children? Or are they from the same country? Nikki already told you she adopted, this and that. They have the same stories. Look at Young Pharaoh. He's adopted, was in the system. They belong to the government. The government is cokeheads. They don't care about us. They're not concerned. They are doing coke out there. They are not going to ever stop coke. They were mad that we didn't want to do coke with them. They wanted us to do coke. We didn't want to do coke. So they done figured out a way to mix it and made us smoke it. I said, ooh, they got us. They know how to get us. They know how to get us. They know we like to smoke. We love to smoke cigarettes and weed, and we'll roll up some tree leaves like kids. Like, we like to smoke. They got us. They know we ain't sniffing that up our nose. They couldn't get us like that. That's how it took so long. They figured out in the 80s, like, oh, they had to get their scientists, and it was like, oh, these niggas smoke a lot. They got us. Just like with the mirror and TV, they make us stars, right? We be the stars, but we got to sign a contract, a contractor. They're tracking, you got to sign that contract. Because they make their door. That contract, that money means nothing. It's really us. And then they're like, well, we don't got nothing. So what we're going to do is give you some IOU papers, and then we're going to make IOU papers into money paper, and then money paper. All this is fake. They made their own door. So there we go. And we're stupid because we wanted to be on TV. We wanted to be looking in the mirror. Did you ever on Philosophy 101, Psychology 101? They said the guy was looking in the water and he fell and drowned. So. They know how to get you some people that we'd be like, oh, we don't want to deal with you, but then they know how to manipulate, and that's all they're doing now. So everything you see on TV is manipulation. I don't even like watching regular TV because everything they say, I just be like, oh my God, they're so weird with their messages, with their indirect messages that they get paid to do. They are not being themselves. They are just speaking for the pedophiles 100%. They are not even like these pedophile rainbow people are not playing no games. Like and it's like I told you, they don't care about no gay or no lesbian. No one never cared. Lesbians might as well just go sit down somewhere. No one cares about y'all. Y'all could kiss and rub bump all y'all want. No one cares. And gays is like, but people really don't care about that either. It's just the concept of you getting rammed in the back that makes people be like, yo, how crazy are y'all? Because it's not that, I don't know how pleasurable it could become, but but whatever. That's the only thing that freaks people out is the butt action. But other than that, no one really cares. it's a trans. They are so mad that God don't recognize them. That they are trying to corrupt everybody and mess up everybody's religion and mess up everything just because they are pissed that God says, look, I'm not letting you in with titties. You ain't have them when you were born. I'm not letting you in without your ding dong. Where is it at? Why do you have a slit today? You know? So they're pissed. He cannot recognize you. He has created you. If you want to be flamboyant, boy, if you want to do, as long as you don't cut that pee off and you take off all that stuff, that fake stuff you got on, and some people can grow to here. So it's like, you can do whatever you want, but just don't mess your how you were born, because I'm telling you, it's his creation. It's all a part of it. It's all in the line of the circle. You don't want to be incomplete. So these people are so pissed about it because they don't want to listen. They're doing it coke and they're not thinking right. When you do coke, and I ain't do no coke, but I mean, come on, lean, da 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 da. What you think it is? There's no special drug here, boy, y'all. There's no special other drugs here. It's either you're doing the weed or you're doing the coca. All right, and they're probably doing all different kind of mixes with it. So when you do E or anything like that, you think you're God. You think you're a superhero. You think you could chase people around and pick up a car, and go on for hours in the bed, and you're just a superhero in life. So why would you not stop doing that drug? If some people probably relish in that feeling, and then they go on to rule the world. The world is mine. So it's just like, you can't stop those people. And then they talk a mile an hour. They talk a mile an hour. Oof, they worse than young Pharaoh. They be like, and then next thing you know, they got your wallet in your hand or something like that. Or they got your birth certificate or your ID or your apartment keys, making a copy. I don't know. People are crazy and they know how to manipulate and scheme. And I just tell y'all gotta figure it out because they out here. They love sheep. They love the sheep. Y'all they favorite food. Okay, we're gonna get into Shorty too. You're gonna get into her.
They are, and they just don't want me to work or are.
So she got caught being a lesbian, I think, right? But why when the show that she decides to tell people she got caught being a lesbian, she wears a rainbow T-shirt. She got one of them Akin ear. She got like the
They are, and they just don't want.
You see that earring? They call it like an Akin or whatever. It's like fertility or whatever. But what would be fertility about you if you're being a lesbian and y'all can't reproduce? Obviously lesbian and gays can have children now, but I'm just saying in a concept of the real world, you can't reproduce together, right? Even if they have children together, they're not going to have their DNA mixed in that one child. One would have to have one and one. So you see how it's a trick anyway, right? And that's how they move it. That's why I said one always. That's why I tell you one of the kids always look like one of the parents. They never look like both. So you got to know these are not females. At all. I don't care what y'all say, okay? I don't know what they doing, and I don't care. It's common sense. Ciara, Megan, she's like, look how big they are. I'm sick of y'all. There's nothing feminine about them. These women be having, their torsos be like where's your ovalness? It's supposed to be an ovalness. They cutting like they getting it like men, how men cut. They cut. I'm like, damn, shorty, but it's a female, and I'm like, oh my bad. I'm thinking it's. I look at this the cut, and I'm like, is that a girl or man? Like, what's going on? Why is they cut like that? It should be no abdominal cut, no. But anyway, yeah, it's a scam, y'all. It's a scam. All of it is scam. Hey, what the hell is this? Yo, some man probably took this picture of him, son. I don't know. Look at this. No, they want us all to be like this. There's no way we could do this. Can you do this with your? If you had triplets, would you be able to do this with y'all's? Look how trained they are. They are trained. Trained. Everything's trained about him. Look at them. Look how he treating them. Order in the court. Order in the court. Order in the court. Come on, look at them. They know not to play. They know not even to play. Bye. They know not even to play. They are trained. This is the new world order. Good luck. They're gonna have us in line like, oh, they're gonna have us in line and everything gotta be, if we make a spill, we probably get smacked on the back of our heads. Like, no mess. Like, that's how keen they are. They're very keen people. Like, everything up there, they'd probably drive them crazy if that little girl would have got out of line. He probably had a heart attack and busted so hard so they could remember not to do it again. So, anyway, we're going to keep it moving. If you look into the Philippines, like, if you go into the Philippines took over Christianity. They're going to give you Bible study. You'll be so weird. You'll feel uncomfortable, like, why is this Chinese person telling me about Bible study? But they know more about Christianity than anybody because they have robbed us from it and changed it. So they have a lot of insight of the Bible. They're the ones that probably revised it and help revise. They have done everything. You be thinking it's white people and stuff, and it's just the Asian person that has changed their looks to be white or blah blah blah. All these people are Asian descent. Everything over there is Asian descent. It's Asia and then it's America. It's nothing else here. Look how he had to lay Don the mouth on the moon. Just super weird. He had an interview with his mother. I wanted to show you that too, where they didn't show no affection towards each other, and she was like, "Oh, you love me. I'm your mother. I like the best." And he was like, "Yeah," like, and they didn't hug or touch or nothing. So, if you think of the song where he was like, the coldest story ever told, and, he was like, the woman's so heartless, and how could she be so heartless? It's the same thing where in the song.
Outstanding son. Wow. Really are pretty cool. The best, as a matter of fact.
Oh, word. You the best mom?
She like, you the best son ever. And he like, she like, well, you the best mom. She like, like, and it was like I'm like, you would have thought that would have been a sensitive moment. Like, I'm the best son, you the best mom. Like, oh, or something, or a hug or something. They went away from each other. Body language. The thing is, like he said, he was like, why you gotta be so Dr. Evil? You bringing out a side of me that I don't know. He's like, he was like, why you being so mad at me for? I don't know. Like, y'all gotta think of it. And he was like, you being so Dr. Evil, and he was like, you bringing out a side of me that I don't know. Like, she was like, because she used to always tell him like, oh, rap for me, this and that. I'm pretty sure that song is about his mom's. The 808, heartbreak, blah, blah, blah. I'm pretty, because these mothers will sell that. She probably was in the game. Her child, it's just like Scientology or whatever. Like Jada Pinkett and them, their children are not theirs. It belongs to the Scientology. Just like that lady Leah be trying to leave out Jennifer Lopez's friend that was from the King and Queen show. She tries to speak out on Scientology that she was born into her mother, just like Mimi, they were born into her mother's Nigerian. So y'all gotta understand that these are cults. And their parents don't have no say-so over their children because they are slaves to the game. They are worshipers. They are a part of it. So don't tell me about some kid because that's what they do. That's what they're doing with them. Sometimes you might have to lock the kid up too. If you're taking them, take the kid too, because these kids are going to grow up to be like them. So you're going to have to take the kids. You're going to have to lock them up and the children. Unfortunately, you got to take them all. Okay? Don't let them just, That nigga.
Oh, shit.
That bear didn't know what was going on. Like, he was like, not my Mercedes. Like, what? Like, the bear was like, what? Like, you left the car there, G. But that was I just thought that was weird because that beard looked like a human, right? I was like, oh my God. Look, these animals are like humans. The dog got hit by the electric fence. Can you believe that? The dog guy was bothering the donkey, and the dog was bothering the donkey, and he got hit by the electric fence. The donkey starts cracking up. These animals are smart as hell. That's what I'm trying to say. Like we might be the dominant species, but I'm telling you, we're all animalistic. So the way how animals are born in litters, and don't think that only one person is creating everything here, because like one animal ain't creating everything here. Things are just being produced here. This is a producing place. Just to go over this briefly, this was so weird. Yeah, I seen a dog. You see the Huskies? The Huskies be saying no. The Huskies be talking. The Huskies creep me out when the lady talks to them. The Huskies understand exactly what's being said. She was like, "Don't take that toy." He was like, "Rrr." And she's like, "No," because it's his friend. He was like, "Rrr." like so what? And then he said something, and the dog was like, he started to say no, like he started to speak, and I was like, that's so weird that the Huskies could speak like that. But, I don't know how that works. Yeah, the Huskies it was a Husky, yeah. I don't know what kind of dog that is, but they're very human-like. Huskies are very human-like. I don't know what's up with them. Do you see the kids were painted on the caskets? The pictures of the kids were painted on the caskets. I just never seen nothing like that. Were the bodies there? Were these children's bodies in the casket? Because I've never seen people put a picture of a child. Ooh, excuse me. I never seen somebody put pictures of she had lost 5 children in a fire. And then they take a candid picture of her like this. Like they catch her like they just, it look like they went on a ladder. Like the picture is like at an angle that don't even make sense. And then they have the picture of these kids on the cast. I just thought it was, I'm just like, yo, I don't know what these people are up to, but something just wasn't right about that story and about all 5 of those caskets lined up with all those kids' pictures on it, and they all were so little. I'm like, she had one back to back to back, or are they quadruplets? Like, I didn't get how this worked, but I'm gonna leave that alone. Because I don't be getting a lot of this stuff is just weird. They're harassing children, so just keep your eye open. I already seen them in the train station is starting. The guy tried to run off with the kid, but I'm telling y'all, if y'all could catch them and you see it, and if you see clearly that they holding hands and they being like romantic and it's a child, I think people should say something. That's just my opinion. I think you should just at least not say nothing to the grown person, but just be like the kid, like, hey, who's that? Your uncle? Who's like, just out of nowhere, just make sure the kid don't seem scared, and just get a little insight to see what's going on. Because I mean, that's just not fair. It's not a fair fight. So if you could step up, step up. Jesus looks exactly like that. Don't put no hair wool on that. And hair wool means what? He probably just had curly hair, like Espanol. He's Yah and Zeus child. You gotta understand, our God ain't coming down to have sex with no woman, no man's wife, to make Jesus Christ. I know my God ain't do that. That's my opinion. I don't think he came to commit no adultery on the commandment. That's rule number what? What rule is that? Number 7. So that's why I read the 10 commandments to you. Rule number 7, thou shalt not commit no adultery. So God committed adultery if he had a child with Mary. Correct? Correct. So who got it? Rule number 1, thou shalt not have no other gods before me. There's other gods here. Why y'all blaming that? The higher ain't do that. He said he don't commit no adultery. It's written in stone. Who sexed Mary and gave her Jesus? Because it wasn't the one from America that we call God that they don't speak of. They don't mess with G, capital O, capital D. Okay? When you reverse it, it means dog. And then who let the dogs out from Australia? And Australia it connects to South America. When you get on a boat, the currency would take you there. Just like the currency would take you from Japan to California, the currency would take you from South America to Australia. So that's why Australia have aboriginals there as well. Because the currency, if they ever got on a raft or anything, it took them there. If a Japanese person ever got on a raft, it took them to California. Okay? So, who had Jesus? I don't know who had Jesus. But Jesus was a connection of two different worlds. He was obviously, he went back and was a carpenter, right? So that means he's from America. Because that's where the carpenters and the farmers, and he probably learned the laws of, how we are on our land. If he's in Mexico, he's supposed to be respecting Christianity and God. Mexicans and all that, they are very Christian, right? Or am I bugging? I don't know for a fact. But, I believe they are Christian. If you're from the Americas, Mexico is a part of it. We just pushed them to the side. We didn't push them out anywhere but to the outskirts. The Los Angeles. And the Los Angeles is, in Latin, it means the angel the angel it is. The angel it is, because we come from the west and then we migrated to the east and set shop there, because things got too hot in the west. You see all that desert. Either y'all ate everything up and y'all made a desert, or the weather just got bad, or always was a little bit hot and it became too hot. That went to the point where we started to move east, where it was more cooler and it made more sense, okay? And that's where everything started to be built, or the castles, or the entertainment. We had a big arena. We had the big arena of where they say Rome had. They broke it. We had one in Manhattan and they broke it down. It's called the Hippo something. That was our big arena where we had all the chariot races. Even the race car races, that was Long Island. Everything is in America. I could show you a bunch of infrastructure that you never saw before. To this day, they took down so much technology that we don't even have today. I don't even know if they could remember it. They were so hateful that they didn't want to mess up their story that they took down stuff that I don't even know if they could even create again. Okay, so so Jesus is half Zeus. I believe Zeus had a baby with one of those it could be, it was a native Indian, black, this is the, down the line, and then they went on to have, not the god Zeus, I don't know who's actually having, this is just concept of them collabing, you know that, right? Usually it's just the concept of collab, just like with Cleopatra and them having it, it's like a collab of when Romeo and Juliet, like when Rome got with Egypt, but Egypt was already with the Julians at that point when China came and invaded them already. So that was the collab of them. So this Jesus is just a collab of him, of Mexico or whatever, South Central, whatever. Where is the pagans from? Like, what is it? England or something, like Rome? I don't know if this is England where he came back and with Caesar. That's Rome, right? I'm not sure. But yeah, it's just them collabing. The African Asiatic people in just China. I don't know, Chinese that turned into, I don't know what Zeus is, turned into white person. And then you gotta think Zeus may not be white. He's just a god with white hair. So he could be an older Muslim guy. He could be an Arab. We don't know what he is, because them colors they vary over there. You think they're white and they just be ethnic Greek. He could be Greek. He's a Greek guy, right? So there we go. Their Greek people are very ethnic looking. Their women have bottom size like Spanish, like they are very shapely women. They are very ethnic people as well. That's why I think Greek be so hype, because I think they're very ethnic mixed with American black, not African black. But anyway, it doesn't, what I'm saying? African black is just them being burnt, and the society doesn't mean they're different people. It's just a different mankind at that point. And Sumer said he can't lie to you, because he was like, yeah, they're burnt from the sun. That it doesn't mean they were black. And naturally they probably were not black. They just soaked up the sun so much, because we soak up the sun, and if you're there forever, you will darken enough. And it could start to create another race now, because you're an Asiatic person that's soaking up some sun. You get so dark, and you're making these nagas and this and that. That's from the Philippines, which is Adam and all this other stuff. And really getting. I'll try to figure it out. I don't know how to make it all make sense, to tell you the truth. So I hope that y'all can piece all this stuff together and it works out for y'all one day. Just to show you like culture dancing, like dance-wise, they all dance alike. They're all cousins. These two people are related. They don't even know it. They think they're not related, but they dance just alike. They dance with their feet. Like they always start kicking first. Like ninjas, they like to fight. They like to, just like young Pharaoh, they like to kick. So they kick dance, they kick. We don't do that. We twerk. So that's why they be sweating us with that twerk. The first thing we do, we always just like, I remember when I was little, that's what we do. We put our hands on our knees and we just be like, we don't do nothing we don't naturally do stuff with our feet. Y'all love to kick your feet around. We naturally stay grounded and we be just like getting low to the ground. We don't be kicking the ground. We stay with the ground and we kind of bounce with it. I'm not saying it's a big thing. I'm just saying that you could tell the difference of the culture. Like all of them do the kicks. Every single one of them do kick dances. And they kick you, they fight, they will kick you in your head. Like, why is your feet getting up so high in a fight? Like, what the hell? So they like to kick. They're ninjas. They are the Buddhist monks. And they're the original cavemen. Like, come on. Yeah, I'm just saying. Like that's an urban thing. Like, and I believe that we're urban people, and they're Arab. I don't know what the hell they are, man. I can't even tell you, but they do live in the water worlds. They are used to living in the water worlds, and they also know how to build. They know how to build a whole, like they can. I don't know what's going on here. This is not good. I had a video of this guy. He travels all over the place. He's a YouTuber. I like his show. He travels all over South America. And he's from, I believe, England or something like that. No, he said he's from Australia. I don't know. He's an alligator guy where he beats up alligators. But yeah, here goes some more dancing with their feet. They just like to kick around, like kick. But you see, they more a little bit slow with it because this is Colombia, I believe. This is Colombia. And you see how they look so different out there. They're African, Asiatic, and they're Caribbean women, but they're Afro-Latina. But when you think of Colombia and stuff like that, you think more Spanish, but they don't never show you the African side of it. It's a lot of African and Asiatic there. Yeah, but I really wanted to show you how they live on floating. They like right here. Like they live, this is like a water hotel where they live on the water. And it's beautiful. They know how to build on water and live on water. Everything is on water. It's a secluded area in Peru. He's in Peru right now.
Okay. Cool. Wow.
Yeah, so they know how to build on water. So when they come over here and they build in Florida, you know who they are. These Mexicans, these people from South America, and they look Asiatic. They look Asian, they look Mexican, they all look the same exact people. I don't know exactly like how to explain it, but they all look like Armenian. They all look a little bit of the same. Like they look very similar. And they know how to build on water. They have a whole hotel on water, everything. So we know, yeah, and I mean, not to be rude to her, but I didn't finish my thoughts on her. She's compromised. She's one of those pages that are paid for her to push the agenda. She was doing a narcissist push. And I didn't want to say anything about her. I'm like, she's a part of the, narcissist is everywhere. And she's also helping push this agenda where they stick to these scripts. So she is a part of the narcissist script because they want to make it seem like these men are narcissists. We don't care what they are. They can go. They're gay or whatever, but transforming, ripping off their genitals, they can go. We don't care what they are. We don't care if they're narcissists or what. And then one person kept saying like, oh, the narcissists because they're narcs. So I took that into consideration. And I was like, oh, so the narcs are narcissists? Because they keep saying the narcissists are people that they don't care, like they do something to you and they don't have no emotions of what they do. So is that the narcs? That's the definition of, like, is that the message that they're trying to give us? That the narcs are narcissists, that they don't care what they do to people and blah, 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 blah. So anyway, because the thing is, it's nothing against her. She's just an infiltrator like young Pharaoh and them. They infiltrate, they confuse, they make you believe that their stories are real. And they have this stuff is weird. I don't know how they all have sickly children. I don't know how, because I think if they do that, they know that they can get the money, and he probably tell her, look, you're going to get, the money's going to come, we're going to give you the platform. You know, I don't know how this stuff works exactly. But it's a lot of symbolism. It's a lot of pattern code words. Once she did the gay come out with the shirt and all that, and it was like because somebody was saying, I believe she's a YouTuber. Her, I just came across her because I was looking into a lot of young Pharaoh stuff, and she covers a lot of young Pharaoh stuff.
Every time somebody constantly tries to inform me that they're not a narcissist, 9 times out of 10, they are, and they just don't want me to find them out too soon. So she would always say, I'm not a narcissist, I'm not a narco. I hope you don't think that about me.
I'm not a narcissist, I'm not a narco. I had to tape it. I said, what the hell, narco?
I'm not a narco. I hope you don't think that about me.
I'm not a narcissist.
I hope you don't think that about me. Not a narco. I hope you don't think that. Narcissist, I'm not a narco. I hope you don't think that.
Like, I'm not a narcissist, I'm not a narco. Narco? Ain't it a show called Narcos on Netflix? Like, I wish y'all could understand this stuff, man. I don't know what to tell y'all. They trying to explain things to us. Like, these people, these governments, these people that swearing they helping fight crime with, what about Malika? I'm not sure what that means. I don't know what the hell Malika is. Them twins, oof, they scare me too. I don't know what the, you know, they all a part of it. You know, if you ask me, you see that the mother, they said something about the mother was very successful and ended up being a millionaire and all that. Like, I don't believe it. They sell their children. That's how they get in them communities. They give up their kids and they want to live these lives. Let them. Nobody cares. Yeah, so I really don't have nothing organized here, and I've been on here for a minute, and whoever's still with me, God bless you for putting up with my unorganized self. But yeah, and this is like how they look in the Philippines. So they go, yo, Jesus, you know, it's like a mix of him, the African Asiatic Yah, Jesus is a mix of Yah and Zeus, and it's making a Mexican. I'm sorry to let y'all know that, but and there's nothing wrong with that. Jesus Christ was on both sides. He wanted to go over to Zeus' side, the pagans, where they were acting too retarded because, you know, it's not much over there, and they got a little bit savagey. He tried to go over there and talk some sense into them, like, hey, I'm half y'all, so, you know, I want to just let y'all know that, you know, you can repent and come over to, you know, my other half, my mother's side, Mary's side, and be like, Yah, you know, because Mary was most likely, you know, if they had hay, you know, like they was in the barn, it could have been more towards that, you know, in my opinion, you know, because the go to here. Anyway, yeah, so he was telling them to repent, you know, you guys to stop doing orgy stuff, you could stop being down with Caesar. And you know, Caesar is just like the movie with the Planet of the Apes, that Caesar was the head ape. So you gotta think, was Caesar really a white man? Because you know they whitewashed everything. Or was he an African Asiatic man? A big gorilla type, you know how they call them gorillas? Or you saw that show, it's called Gorillas or whatever. And isn't that in South America as well, the gorillas? Y'all have to let me know. I'm not really internationally that smart about that, but it's called gorillas or whatever. But anyway, somebody should know that history, that information. So Caesar is most likely an Afro-Asiatic man, and he's telling them, like, look, you don't gotta do that North Frenchman mentality where they're treating a woman like, you know, you gotta be, you know, you gotta cater to men, because women are not gonna, men have a different outlook than women do. We don't want to look at sex all day like how men look at sex all day. So if we're not meeting their standards, they try to create a world that we're meeting their standards, where it's like, oh, if you're not giving out enough, we should have a polygamy situation where y'all should just be satisfying us because y'all don't like, and it's like, oh, let us have more men. But then they'll be like, think about it, sis. Only why I'm doing this is because you said you don't want to have so much sex. So it's like, all right, you get the concept? So they're like, you should allow us to do other things because you didn't want to do more enough that I want to do it all day, every day. Let them tell it. You know what I'm saying? So here goes the misogynist persona of the king that should get everything he wants, which means that I need more than one woman did because you're not going to be able to keep up with the men. And that's where their concepts are coming from. And that concept don't work when a woman has a brain. So they gotta treat their woman like what? Put them in Muslim garments and this and that, and they could get beat if they take it off. They take them down and put them on, and that's the same thing they did with us as a race. They put us down and try to, hide. And so anyways, because it's a dominating factor that's going on here. So Jesus is just trying to let them know, look, you don't have to be like that. Just repent, cut it out, and turn over to what he had going on. But, as people think Judas was wrong for telling the ideas of Jesus, but you got to understand Judas is from Judea. So you can't come to Judea and boss up like, yeah, just because I'm the descendant of Zeus, half Zeus, that you're going to sit here and tell us all this stuff. And it seemed like the people probably wanted to repent, but at the same time, they watched them get beat to death. They just literally stood there. I watched the movie. He got beat for about an hour or two or something like that. I don't know. For 3 days, he was strung up. They didn't do nothing. So I don't know what he died for, but I'm pretty sure they still doing coke and orgies over there. But I don't know, whatever. But the concept is that he was just a conjunction of these two worlds colliding. Of the African Asiatic people that's all over there, and also these Asian people, because some of these African people are not mixed with like they don't have the Asian eyes. So it's like the Muslims too. The Muslims don't have the Asian eyes, most of them. Some of them, the Jews do, but the Muslims don't. The Turkish men and stuff, they're just more pale descendant because they come from the pale. They turn yellow, they turn Seminole, then they turn yellow, then they turn pale. I can't explain all of that. But I'm just explaining. I have and I don't know if I can find it. I don't know why I can't find it where they show you the oh shoot, here go the Nazareth thing. Oh, I think I found something. Anyway, I can't find it. I don't know what happened. The word Nazareth, this word, if you break it down, Na means no, and Zar means South African. So I was like, what the fuck? Why? It means no, don't do no business with no South African person. So when the Jesus, whatever this means, like the Jesus narrative or whatever that meant, it meant to do no business with the South Africans. They took in their own language, just like Nazis. It was like they was blocking people out and making their own empires and putting them down at the bottom. So the North Africans was doing business, but they was treating the South Africans way different than each other. So they're two different. Yeah, they're mixed back there. So, but a lot of them don't. Some of them don't, and some of them do. A lot of them do have the Asian because you're in Asia. So a lot of them are going to have Asian eyes. But a lot of them are somehow, I think they're like, somehow they brought some of them over there because a lot of these people, they'll show you, they don't have Asian eyes or just, and they have a copper tone and things like that, and they're in South Africa. So it's just to show you that it's a big mixing bowl where some people were taking, you could tell some people were having to take it over there because why do they look like that? Why do some of the Muslims, Turkish, not Syrians, the Turkish and the Arabs and the Saudis and certain people, they don't have, all of them don't have Asian eyes. Some of them have very regular eyes, and they, because it's the mixing of certain, is either you're an African Asiatic mix or you didn't get the Asian mix and you're just going directly to and then everybody act like they're all that because they're trying to tell you they're the loins of us. Like Jesus is the loins of us through Mary. They're like, oh, we got a piece. Oh, I'm a descendant of them. And that's why they come over here as well. Like, oh, like Kamala and them. Like, oh, we're a descendant of y'all. And we should be in here. Because, America is like heaven to them because they say living back there could be hell because they're treated like slaves. They're treated unfairly. The government people are like, what do they call them? When they're dictators and stuff like that. So leaving out of there and coming to the free world, this world was not free. This world was not free. It bugs me so much that they think this is the free world when it's ours. It's just like Arabs have their world. Africa has their world. They have their world. We have our world. But they said that world is a free world. We are for grabs. Disrespectful. I'm gonna let them get away with it because what could you do? But at the same time, we already know this is us. You see what I'm saying? There's no free world here. But they don't want us to govern our own stuff like they govern their stuff. It doesn't make no sense, but whatever. This is what happened. This is where we at. Can we take it back? I would love to talk to somebody to figure out how that could occur, but it's not something that I have any clue to do. Only thing I have a clue to do is to just stop supporting. Stop, just buy whatever you need and stop supporting. And that goes for even immigrants too, because a lot of immigrants they work and they are just as suppressed as us, or live in the projects and stuff just as people, because they are half us and half this. So they just took your half butts and put us with us, you know. So you half this, half that, but guess what? You still black. You still us. They still put you in a nothing pile. Like, go over there and y'all not getting a cut of this business that we got, even though you were descendants of them, probably half or whatever. So you need to stop doing business with them too, because they're not letting you in their little group. Especially if you half us, they definitely not letting you in. So if you're not part of it, know that you probably because you half us. And you got our fate. Too bad for y'all. Just work and live in the hood. And the thing is, a lot of people get out the hood and stuff like that, but I'm telling you, it's corrupt. They do it corrupt. They scam the scheme artists. The only people that made it out is the schemiest. They'll sell you something for $20 that costed $1.50. So how good of a friend are you? I'm buying something from you that costs $1.50, you charge me $20. And they'll make their life and be thinking they made out the hood. Yeah, off for the scams. You know, these people are scammers. But anyway, we are the Yankees. We are the Yankees. Us. We are Yankees to these people because they're yanking us. They're yanking us. We are the people in the middle. They want us to work. They want all our stuff. We are the Southerners. We are the wealthy people. They took our wealth. They took our wealth. The wealthy people are from the South. We are the wealthy people. We're the wealthiest people. Cotton is the fabric of our lives. We are the wealthy people. We are from the southern. If you look at Antarctica, that's where the Southern Ocean is. The Southern Ocean is in Antarctica, in the Arctic. And that's where we all derive from. So we're all from the Southern Ocean, coming from the Antarctic and the Arctic, because I told you Antarctica froze, so we had to go through the back and come out through the Antarctic, where Alaska, China, Russia, Canada was at, the North Pole, and it's the circle of life there, because it hits everything. It hits every aspect of these lands. It's the conjunction, the junction. All conjunctions. The junction is up north. Then we got a conjunction in Mexico, Mesoamerica. That was the conjunction right there. And then we got the conjunction in Turkey. The boinking point there. These are conjunctions of different migrations of people hitting each other. Like, oh, what's up? Who are y'all? Who you? You know, that's where we meeting at. So those are the three meeting points, okay? And yeah, so we're the Southerners. We're That's why the movie Mahogany. You see Billy D. Williams. He's the Asiatic man, and Diana Ross. She's the turtle pop thighs. Okay, I believe the roles should have been exchanged. The black man should have been Diana Ross, regular man, and the woman should have been Asiatic, black. You know, that's what it should have been in Mahogany, but they decided to do it reverse because this is what they do. They're backwards, Torah, Jewish, Pig Latin people, and we're in their world right now, reversed. We're mahogany people. They're mahogany, redwood people, and we kept turning into lighter colors until it got to the South America, Olmec area, where y'all became more Semitic when y'all got over to what is known as Africa. It started to become more Semitic over there. So it went from and I have it, the Mexico is the Toki, the T-O, you know who those are. I don't know who they are. I can't pronounce this, token. And it continues down on, and then it goes on to Africa, and then it goes on to Muslim, the Semitics, and on to Asia and China and things like that because of the atmosphere in the world. And then they did a full circle back, okay, through the Strait Barrens. Now they for Chinese, and they jump back on the tokens where they really originally were from. and turned them into Aztecs, and then they turned that because those were Armenians and in California. I don't know. I can't really explain much. I don't know. We were the Yankees. They're yanking over us. We're in the middle. They fight over us. They want us. They want us. You know, they yank over us. That's why the North people want out. They came creeping up this way trying to harass us. They came creeping up in the back trying to harass us. And, you know, they just been yanking us since, I don't know, what else? I would love to show you, this was in New York. This is something that they ripped down in New York. It was a beautiful infrastructure. Look at all of them. They so disgusting. They'll just sit in our shit and take pictures all the time. I've noticed that they sat in front of all our stuff like, they just was taking mad pictures like, and they just looked at mad nervous too. They just be in front of you like, no, they didn't make none of that. They in front of all our stuff like, I'm like, ew, get away from it. Like, why was they on our stuff like that? It's so bad. It's not nice. Like, you got the organ. All this is in New York. All of it is in New York. The harp, the organ. It was called the Hippodrome. It was called the Hippodrome. It took the whole block up. They even had trains. They had trains and everything. The thing is, none of that's there no more. None of it. None of it's there. None of this stuff is there no more. It was such a big place where they had the circus, chariot races. This is where Rome got the idea. You see how they live in ruins. None of our stuff ruins over here. Everything was built to last forever. We have the material for it. They don't have the material for it. They tried to build a bunch of crap and this stuff was falling all over the place. They call it ruins. And the stuff in South America is where that's where they really get down with the building and the stone hedges. That's where they learning their stuff from. But their stuff didn't last either because the earthquakes and the way how and even though we don't have earthquakes and stuff like that much, but none of our stuff would deteriorate the way their stuff deteriorates over there. Everything ruins over there. When they see our stuff, it's called landscapes. It's called landmarks. Our stuff is called landmarks. It's not ruins. All our shit is still there in perfect fucking condition. And they're ripping stuff down. They're breaking landmarks down, which doesn't make no fucking sense because it'll be there forever for the rest of your life. It won't be no ruins. It's just a landmark. And they're people petition like, don't you know why they petition it? You know why? That you can't redo that no more. Y'all done got rid of the information. Y'all was so hateful. And you can't reproduce that stuff no more. Leave it. Leave it there. It is a masterpiece. And who knows if God himself ain't create this stuff. Look at the way how the castles and stuff was built. The landmass of the castles. They had beautiful like waterway fountains and all that design. How was they able to do that? How were they able to do that in not ancient times, but before ancient times? Because ancient times is dumb. So whatever was before that, what we did, what American Native people did, it's just ridiculous. The way how our place probably lit up and the music, they probably look like, what is going on over there? How do they have it so great over there? It was our place had to light up the whole world at points where all the technology and trains and all the stuff that we had in the street, they took out. We have less than what we have that we had then. We have way less. They had train tracks all in the thing. They had free energy trains that didn't even have to go on the trains. It was freight trains, and then it was trains that hit the electric that was going straight through the streets. And then they had the trolleys. They had mad stuff. Like, I just don't get what was the point of snatching everything up just to make $1 off of it. They're so pathetic. It would be much a beautiful world if everybody had access to all that free energy and how we would be able to, use the magnet, all kinds of stuff. You would be surprised how wow. And I think they may be trying to go in that direction and try to get us into this technology, but I don't know. It's so weird. The way how they done ripped everything out and changed these stories, I would never trust anything they got going forward in any new world order. I'm not trusting anything they're doing going forward. They are sick weirdos on coke. And all they care about is having sex slaves. So all of these people are sex slaves. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Even these YouTubers I'm pointing out. They all talk about sex and stuff. Like, are you kidding me? And they be mad old. I be look like, what? That don't sound sexy. That sounds wild. Like, you don't need to know nobody that's in a certain age, sexual, like not, and you could be sexual, but I mean, like, they be talking loud. So it's a persona. They want you to be, like I'm telling y'all, this is a persona. That's all it's about. All of these things that they had was super bigger. Look at how he's taking a picture on our stuff. Like, they took this out of New York City and put it in Albany, upstate New York. This big organ, what you call it? Look at this. This is in Manhattan. A Yankee circus. A Yankee circus on Mars. A Yankee circus on Mars. A Yankee circus on Mars. Can they explain how this big, giant, beautiful building got there with all this stuff in there when they just got here in the 1800s? Can they explain how that happened? Why did they rip that down? Why would they rip that big, giant building down? Why would they take the train stations down in front of it? Where's the train station? This was on Third. This was like on 42nd Street. It's a different building here now. This is what's there now. I took a picture of what's there now. I don't know where it's at. Let me look. Yeah, I don't know. I can't find it. Yeah, but LeBron is hot. Yeah, this is all a scam. This is all a scam, y'all. They all related. African, Asiatic. LeBron is mixed. LeBron is mixed. Y'all not getting the concept of how they celebrities work. They always be like, oh, my father's a bum. The African, Asiatic mother is good. His father's probably a black man, a native man. This is the game they play. The father will be a native person, or the mother will be a native person. And they'll be like, oh, she's a bum, he's a bum, she's on crack, da da da, and the kid be a star. They use them. They use us. They put them as stars. They make them superstars. And they mixed breeds. These are mixed breed people. They always complain about their mother, or there's always somebody to complain about. And I'm pretty sure they're black. Just like Bow Wow, or all of them. Their father, they tried to exploit him like he was a drunk. He looked like a Southern copper man, drunk. And they're usually drunks because they've been through a lot. And they take the drunk. They're either drunks or they do the drugs. That's what they when you put that much pain and pressure on people, yes. And anyway, it don't matter. But they'll play that role like, oh, this person's a bum, blah blah blah. They use that man. They use these people. And then they take their child, make them stars, and it was always going to be in the plans for that. They come over here, and then they use that kizzy, and then they also make them a star because they are mixed descendants of us, and we're important people, but they won't let us know we're important. So they let their mixed breeds be the stars and this and that. Anyway, I'm not going to keep explaining. If y'all don't believe it, y'all don't believe it. But they definitely have a weird system going on with their dumb coming over here and dominating. So, and that's in history. That shows you in history. They come over here and they dominate it. We had automobiles. We had everything before they got here. It was made in Connecticut. We also had cars. We had the Smith & Nine. We made the revolving gun. That's where they get John Wayne from. We were sharpshooters. They had the rifle and stuff, but you ain't think about it. If you have gunpowder in a rifle. Yeah, hey, hubbies, hey, girl. Yeah, I know you. Thanks for being here. She's always been a follower or a commenter, and I always love the people that's been here since day one, especially. So thanks for being here. I'm glad you caught me. And I've been up here for a long time. I can't believe it's this late. But yeah. So we made the Smith & Nines, and so they might have had the gunpowders and all that, but if you think about it, we had Smith & Nines. You're not beating that. You're not beating that kind of fast gun. So we had the technology. They got bombs and they got the gunpowder and the knives at the end of their guns, but they can't beat them revolvers and and that's what we had. They made that in the South as well, and that's where them Texan, one of them Texas cowboys and all that. That's they was the ones moving in the Wild Wild West. The Wild Wild West is the Chinese people too. You ever saw Westworld? That show that comes on HBO? That we meet them from the east. They coming from Asia, from the west, coming from California, Oregon. They was busting in on the west. That's what the West was about. Our asses wasn't really in the West with the cowboy black people, you know how they got more cowboyish, like country cowboy, not like southern cow, you know, not southern like us. They were more out there, and then they was encountering the cow. That was the cops and rob, you know, the cowboys and the Indians or something like that. They was encountering them. That was the Wild Wild West right there. And they was fighting in the wild Indians, and the cowboys was fighting each other or whatever. They had the Smith and Westons, so they was sharpshooters. And we knew that's what RoboCop. You see how they do with technology? They gotta beat us in technology, because RoboCop is the same shit with John Wayne. That's us. We did the woo woo woo, and we do that because it gives you aim. When you pull it out, it's like a fast shoot. So when you pulling it out, they want you to swing it around and pow. It's supposed to be powing them. You're supposed to boom, bring it up. But anyway, that's beside the point, because I don't even shoot. I don't like guns at all. I rather fight than ever. Like, I want people to see another day. Like, where that ass went, bitch? You see me another day. I want you to see me tomorrow, bitch. Let me stop. But anyway, I just wanted to go over some history. I didn't really get to go over young Pharaoh and stuff that much, but I believe that he was getting set up. He had the screw face on, because young Pharaoh is a very smart man. Virgos are very smart. That's why SETI appointed him and gave him the A-OK. The January Capricorn gave him the A-OK to go and do his thing. They knew he was going to be a good acting guy, because his role is based on that person. You know, that's why he act well, because he's not being himself. He's being the role he has been born and played in, that he has been hired to do. So was the lady that disappeared. She was playing the role she was meant to do. That December 28th birthday. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or bad thing. I just know that that was the day that the king from up north ordered to kill Jesus, because Jesus was not a good look for him. He was a mix of Yahshua and Zeus. I think Zeus caught that hit on him. Somebody caught the hit on Jesus, and they wanted him gone, because he was going to be doing what he did when he came. He came to straighten them little bad people out. So, you know, they wanted him out of there, like, oh, you're going to cause problems for us over here, because you want him coming out, you know, because he's mixed. And anyway, the Yahuwah and the Zeus, they're not following the same religions. So, you know, that's why they would not want him to be there. Like, bro, you're going to mess up our religions, because we have separate religions, but here we are coming together somehow in a weird way through this child. So, the hit was out on him for 2 years, and they was killing children throughout that. Any toddler. That's a massacre of children. How is your birthday, the anniversary of that 2-year massacre of children? Like, where's the outrage? And then when it's time to have the outrage and you could really pop jump, you disappear, you shot. So yeah, the people are hot, and they getting paid, and they are part of organizations. And I'm not saying them. I'm just saying allegedly. This seems like this is how my little imagination. You know, you ever saw that show Bobby's World? He had an imagination on him on that tricycle. You know what I'm saying? My imagination goes just as high as them agents. Like, I love to tell a story. And that's just like the Bible. Like, I'm really good at telling stories, but the Bible is telling stories. They're verses. They're giving you verses. They're giving you stories. And you already know what the old people used to tell you. Like, Southern old people would tell you, stop telling stories. They won't tell you to stop telling lies. They'll tell you to stop telling stories. And they'll tell you to stop telling stories, because your stories could become so big. So they'll be like, stop telling stories. You get in trouble for telling stories. So you got to be careful with these stories, because these stories, where smoke is fire, is based off of true stories. But they're going to make it bigger. When I tell stories, I want to make it bigger. I'm not going to tell you a story mad boring. So it's going to get bigger. Me telling you I punched some girl in the head, I might tell you, yo, her whole head flew off. Like, her whole head did not fly off. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling stories. But the story is based off of a real story, because I really did have a fight. Or you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, so when older people, you got to understand the sayings are there for a reason. They call them sayings, like seances. Like, seances are important to people, right? But our old ones have sayings. So maybe they get the sayings from the seances. Anyway. All the same stuff. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. They're all corrupt. And like I said, the CIA, the DEA, what is the point of having all these organizations? Because they can't get along. They can't get along, and they all want their parts and their power. They want their access and their security clearance to everything, and they want to be able to do all this weird stuff on top of it, thinking that if they keep doing this weird stuff, they'll keep getting blessed with materialistic things because it's not something that God gives. He gives us natural nature, and we're not in the natural nature world no more. We are in the physical realm of materialistic things that what we think in our heads, we are now creating on our own. We are becoming our own gods and being our own creators of the manifested world that we want to create now here. We don't want to just be nature. And I understand it. And that's why I said science science and spirituality, it goes hand in hand. I never want to sit there and say, oh, I'm only spirit, because science does help. If you were sick today or tomorrow, you would want science to kind of help you instead of you living your fate out like spirituality will like you to do. Like, oh, you got I don't know, like a tick bite or something that could cause maybe your arm to be amputated. But now because we have science, we don't have to go on and just have our fate of my arm getting gangrene and dying. Now my arm gotta go off. No, I'm gonna go to that doctor and I'm gonna get that science, and they're gonna play God on my arm and try to save it. I mean, so we can't be mad at science, and that's why doctors in science and all these people are have in there, and that's why God says more than one God. He is letting these people do it. He's not saying it's wrong. He's just saying don't put them before him, because some of these people could get out of their control. They could be like, oh, I'm God and others. So he be looking like, let them do their thing. They smart people. They done snatched the information and ran off with it. So they might as well use it, right? But they just could get beside themselves. And on top of that, they could start getting touched in the head, like a little bit what young Pharaoh is doing. He is going a little bit too far. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes you get so caught into your intelligence that you could start to look at people and be like, okay, you're ants. You're ants to me. You know what I'm saying? And then that's the problem. That's your problem. Because you could be God and you could be all that stuff, but once you start to, push it on other people, you could be God, you could be God and stuff in your own world, by yourself. But once you get around other people in their world, you're starting to share worlds. You come into somebody else's world, their world. You can't push your God world on their world. Like, what kind of, now that's when you get arrogant and retarded. You can do whatever you want in your bathtub or in your room by yourself. You could tweedledee with your little thing. You can do whatever you want to do. Play with, it's your business, but on your own. But when you're in public, you can't tweedledee with your thing. You can't. You gotta have some type of self-control. So you could see young Pharaoh is spiraling. The self-control is not there. You could be as much God as you want in your own world that you created for yourself in your mind. But once you get into other people, when you step in other people's boxes, please stop making them try to make you, stop trying to bring your God, step and be like, oh, in my world, you're my God? No, you're not. So there we go. So they gotta slow it down. You could be whatever you want in your world, but stop coming in somebody else's world saying, I'm your God. And it's like, people look like, bruh, you don't go ahead, you like 4'5". You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I have nothing left, and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I wish I would have showed you. I have not showed y'all anything. I be coming up here thinking I'm gonna kill it. Like, oh, I'm gonna give you all this, and I gave y'all nothing again. Like, I couldn't find no stuff. I couldn't find anything. I tried to look for a lot of stuff. I couldn't find anything. Yeah. Oh, I could play this really fast. This was weird, right? This was weird.
You're gonna get a job to pay your rent and start to live on your own. We're gonna pay your rent for the first 2 months. We're gonna help you be independent and make that transition to a young adult. That's what's important. What do you think?
Thank you for, even considering that. I just think that for me, living on my own, I think that that's not something I'm ready for. I'm not ready to be isolated.
She ain't stupid. She like, I'm about to be isolated. Y'all about to kick me out.
To repair the relationship. This is just time to prove you can be independent.
Now, I'm sorry. Homeboy was weird. And look how he turned not to cry.
Y'all might need your space in the beginning just to work on your issues. Oh, now please, don't,
Why are you crying?
Yendi had to get in there. She like, we on TV, He like, please, like, girl. What you mean, girl? She's like 18. Like, and y'all took her from a track like, ooh, this is called sex slave trading at its finest. He probably like, girl, if you ain't letting me smash in here and you ain't a direct descendant of me, you gotta get up out this house. Like, why would she have to fly? You gonna kick your real daughter out like that? Because when you adopted her, she should have became your real daughter, right? Please stop adopting these children if you're not gonna treat them like yours. So, why does she gotta get out at 18 right now? Like, cause her and Yendi had a little bit of a conflict. That's what girls do with their mothers. You should not be kicking her out until I get an apartment and pay for her rent for like 2 or 3 months. Ooh, you bum. Y'all on TV. You had on TV the whole last year. Shorty need to lawyer up. Shorty need to lawyer up and say, look, I want a check from last year. Every time I was on the episode, give me a check so I don't have to worry about 2 months of pay. Let me get my cut. Whatever y'all made, give me a percentage because y'all used my whole storyline. You know, like, I don't get how they was just like, oh, I'm going to give you 2 months and you going. Like, what? And I already explained to you about Yendi, you know, like, manager, handler, like, she probably had other ideas for that girl. And who knows what's going on there over there, to tell you the truth. Like, they're trying to put her in another home. Like, it's weird time. Like, I don't know what they were trying to do with her. What they got planned for her. You know? Very weird. And you already know what Mendici is. You clearly see what kind of descendant he is. And he's not no regular person. They all a part of that game, you know? That's why he's with Yendi and married Yendi. Like, she's a part of the game. He probably was with other women, regular women. But the one he'll be with is the one that plays the game with them. That's, you know, that does these weird things. And it's for funding. It's for the greater of the good. It's for the wealth, the generate. That's all they care. And they think that the weird things they do make sense when they do all this stuff. You know? Yeah, so that's all I really have. I just wanted to show you also, like, with these people, like, I wore the same bucket hat just like this, like the same Prada bucket hat, but I went to Canal and got my Prada bucket. I would not spend another $1 on an expensive. I just wanted a pink bucket hat, and I just so happened to see that hat. So that's why I didn't even take a picture up close to show that it was, because it wasn't real. But anyway, the very next day they put this bitch in a pink Prada bucket hat. Like, I was like, yo, they everything, and I'm telling you, this is not, I'm going to show y'all a bunch of shit where they just do stuff right after me. The next day, it's just like they antagonize me all the time with my information or things I do. Like, I'm going to show you, I'm telling you, it's not, I can show you 1,000 different versions of that stuff. Where they just like stealing, and being weird with me. Like, they'll just be harassing me the very next day or whatever. But anyway, that I just want to show you. I wish I could get all that stuff together where I have so much stuff showing that they just... I don't know. I really don't see nothing else that I could give you guys right now. Yeah, so... I don't see nothing good. Yeah. Yeah, they're all... It's pretty... It's not a joke. So, y'all think somebody out here to save us. Trump was like, go ahead and take this. What did Trump just recently say? He was like, go on and take the shot. I was like, what? He was like, I did it. Y'all heard Trump? He said, go on and take it because he did it. Like, oh my God. Y'all got played big time, right? Don't y'all feel like y'all got played big time? Whoever's like, oh, Patriots. And it's like, what does that even mean? I have no idea. Yeah. So now we know that age is something. Like, age ain't nothing. No, it is something. Now we know it's something. Don't let them get away with this no more. We thought it was cool at first. Like, oh, she was 14. That thing ain't right. Okay. So this was her like 3 days after having her second child. Y'all wish. Look at that neckline. Look at that straight across. You really think that's how she looks after her having her second child 3 days later? Look at her neck. I'm telling y'all. Y'all really think that she had... Look, the kids don't look nothing like Safari. Nothing. Not even a little bit. Not even close. They look like her though. I'm telling y'all, they always got one parent in there. I think she had the sperm, if you ask me, in my opinion. That's not Safari Kid. That's why he let the kid fall on the floor and he was like, and she's like, oh, what the fuck? He looking like, yeah, girl, get your kid. Like, damn it. He was in Jamaica when she had the second one, like, Pawnee River, Pawnee Bay. That nigga was in Jamaica just with all his homeboys, like, Pawnee River, Pawnee Bay, because that's not his kid. He's like, well, I gotta be there. Girl, I'm gonna help you, because they got us signed up together in this game, but I'm gonna help you with them, but they're not mine. They're not his directly. I don't think it, in my opinion, I don't think they're his directly. Look at everybody in Paris trying to come back to America. This is Paris. They over there rioting because they want to come back over here, and they're not letting none of these people get on a flight. They said nah. They told them no. And I told you they knew about this stuff since 8 years ago. If you didn't hear the story earlier, you would have to go back. When I went to the DMV 8 years ago, and they told me that I would not be able to get on a plane by 2022 without this certain stamp. And I was just like, oh, bro. So you see why they closed down the borders in 2019, right? And they got COVID-22. I don't even want to say that word, but they saying it's a COVID-22 coming out, which means year 2022, just like COVID-19 with the 19, it's year 2019. So we see this is some weird. It's now nowhere near over. They closed those borders down because they knew it was going to flood, which is going to cause famine. They're going to be in biblical times. Now that they see in biblical times that it don't flood everywhere, I hope they have a brain now to see that when it floods over there in their biblical time, we were sitting over here probably working, chilling. We were not dead. I hope they know that. I hope when they realize this now, that biblical times has now came back full circle after I think every 90 to 100 years, if you ask me. It does this. They know it, or I don't know. It's a cycle. They know the cycles. They get out of the way, so they know the cycles. Okay, and I don't even know if they are causing these cycles because they have access to the plutoniums in the ground, which causes earthquakes. Is that a fly? I don't know what that was. That just flew past. It's always like flies coming here, like mosquitoes and stuff, and I'm scared to death of them. I got this spray, so if I do see a fly, I'm gonna run, and I might have to end it abruptly and get the spraying of my mosquito spray because I don't like mosquito bites biting me at all. Like they carry diseases. But yeah, so they not letting those people over here because they could bring disease, because not saying them specifically, but people that's in that water and all that stuff, it could cause disease because that water is super murky of nothing good in there. So they are concerned about what they could bring over here. And there's already a lot going on over here as well. We have flooding over in the areas that always flood. It's always flood in New Orleans. It's always flood in certain areas. So this is not nothing new. Does it get as bad as it does as it is now? It doesn't happen all the time. But like I said, I think they have access to making it worse than what it could really be through them doing bombs. And, they do weird stuff. And then trust me. So I do think they have a way of making it worse or having a way where they know how to actually do this to those areas. Because as you can see, the New Orleans flood is on the same anniversary as the flood before when Kanye West said, who was the president? What is this guy named? The weird drunk president that became president because his father was president. Bush. He said Bush don't care about black people. And now this same anniversary of this is the same anniversary now where they're flooding again. It's like an anniversary to it. It's like a something year anniversary. So don't think it's fine. Maybe they know that it was going to occur like naturally and they can plan it on this day, or they are making it happen. Either or. But they are the main point is that they are aware it's going to happen. That's why they're able to give you a little bit of a warning to say get out or whatever. They know it's going to happen. And that's why they closed the borders down before all the chaos started to happen with the floods and all the issues. They closed everything down already, giving an excuse, saying, oh, because they knew it was about to occur, and they're not about to open it anytime soon because it's not over yet. And then it's going to take a long time for things to start to get better over there as far as all this flood and damage that has been done. But anyway, that's beside the point. That's something that's always been happening. It's nothing new. They know it's nothing new. They just don't let us in on all the information they stole so they can have the heads up and the control, like they can have the upper hand. I just found it weird that they let this guy around a kid again. Like, after the scandal that he was in, they give him a movie called Sweet Girl. Bye. It's a person named Methuselah in like the biblical line. The person, I think y'all know it. Like, I don't know who he's the son of. His name is Methuselah. The name of Methuselah is the oldest tree in Las Vegas. It's like this oldest tree that ever lived in Las Vegas. So don't think for 1 second that this Methuselah tree in Las Vegas is not connected to that biblical name, Methuselah. What would be the odds? So we gotta understand that we are in America, and most of this biblical stuff is that they have is from probably the West, like California and going into the Mexicos and things like that. Because and Methuselah he's like in the middle, so you know they're coming from us, and then going into Las Vegas, and then going into then it continues on out. So we already see is America biblical and all this religion is derived from America. I don't care why. I don't know why they wanted to be in Africa so bad, because they want, Zeus. Like I said, Zeus may not be white. He may just be an older looking guy with gray hair. I believe Zeus is from the Zulu nation. Shaka Zulu. I believe Zeus derives from the Zulu nation. I believe that they are intertwining somewhere in it. Like the Zulu nation has something to do with Zeus, as far as Shaka Zulu and them go. Yeah, so that's all I really have today. I'm exhausted. I gotta work tomorrow, so I need to go to bed. Yeah, and that's all I really have anyway. This is the picture of Zeus, just to show you. You see his hair is not really straight. So because off the fact that his hair is not really straight, you could tell that he was a mixed man, or he was somewhat of a person of an ethnic background. Because anybody that does not have any ethnic background will have straight hair. So when they get tight, when they give you tight coils or those dreadlocks, or it looks like he has dreadlocks if you ask me. I mean, if you can't really see clear, when they give you those wormy hair, it usually means dreadlocks. So this is probably like some Jamaican, West Indian kind of man, Zeus. But they pretend he's white because they whitewash everything. And he is the one that brings the thunder and the rain. Okay? So I'm going to have to do another show another day. I don't know who's still with me, but you guys must be as crazy as me, because it is late and it's Monday. It's not even a weekend. So I'm going to call it a night. Like, share, and subscribe. And if anything, just be aware out here. I do like all people. I have no issues with these eyes or my eyes. I just don't like people that are a part of this scam, and then the people that think they can manipulate. I've been around so much that I just can't help but to now say, people are not bugging. These people are scripted. These people are part of stuff. They are street level. I can show you pictures. Like, I know these celebrities. I've met so many celebrities. I had one celebrity that was like a DJ, and he threatened me. He was like, "Oh, you know what happened to girls like you? I seen this on a show recently, and I was like, yo, that's the same thing that dumb DJ told me. Where he was like, oh, you don't know what could happen to you. We could make you disappear, and all because I said no. You see what I'm saying? So y'all gotta understand it can get dangerous. And if it wasn't for that A-list celebrity with that DJ to say, hey, don't worry about her, he looked out for me. If it would seem like it was up to him to see what my fate would have been. You know what I'm saying? And only just because anyway. I be trying, and I have a million stories like that, because, you know, when you hang out and you do, and you think people like celebrities and stuff are cool, and they try to act like they're Zeus or something, and then you gotta be like, bruh, slow down, and then they try to attack you and be like, act like they can make you disappear. Like, and I can give you a hint about the DJ. Like, the DJ is, like, the drama king has left the building. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. It's late. Like, share, and subscribe, and enjoy the rest of you guys' night. And I will try to be back with my Jay-Z and Brother Polite video. I don't care what y'all say. I'm convinced after he said he wore a mask and he's not who he is. And he literally said that, and I'm going to make it clear in the video so y'all can hear it better. And then, I mean, if you don't hear Jay-Z's voice, and then look at the facial features. Jay-Z looks very different now. So I wouldn't be surprised if they done took him out a long time ago. Where has he been? Where has Jay-Z and Beyonce been? Where has Jay-Z and Beyonce been? Y'all been supporting, I've been supporting, we have been supporting Jay-Z and Beyonce for years. They are billionaires because of us. Billionaires. No such thing, but whatever. Where have they been? Oh yeah, Beyonce, I think I tried to show clips of Beyonce when she was younger. She was giving straight little boy vibes. Like, she was so active, and little girls don't usually act the way she was acting. I was like, what, is she a little boy? Like, and I'm not trying to be funny. It's not like, I'm not talking about she was being a tomboy. I'm talking about when you see how she was talking and how she was acting, I was like, she's giving me, like, you could tell a little boy and a little girl. Like, I don't know how y'all can't tell. Like, I know I could. She was giving little boy energy, and it was like this clip I saw, and I think I have a tape of that, but I'm not going to probably be able to find that. That was a long time ago I had that clip. But yeah, Beyonce is definitely probably doing M. She's a part of New Orleans, her mother and them. So yeah, they're very corrupt. And that's why I tell people that's not corrupt from New Orleans, get out of there, because that place is dangerous. Because of all the tragedy that in the fights that have happened with the saints coming up on them, when them saints came marching in all this. So yeah, them saints came up on y'all and caused a lot of havoc. And I don't think that place is ever going to be a safe place to live with all the tragedy that has occurred there. So anyway, yeah, like, share, subscribe, and good night, you guys. Bye. I don't know how you turn this off. XD.